Yeah, our commentary team of Ian Danter and Adrian Clark are at Ewood Park for us. We've talked about Captain Lewis Travers' absence, not in the matchday squad today. Speculation he could be going to Derby. The board actually banned local journalists from asking about him in their pre-match press conference, which I always find absolutely ridiculous. But it's not ideal for Valérien Ismaël not knowing who he's going to have. And this is the problem with the transfer window every year, Clarkey, isn't it? Without a doubt. He doesn't know who he's going to be working with.
No, not ideal at all. And obviously with it being your captain, really influential player as well, someone that holds a lot of sway in the dressing room, for him to be unsettled is not a good situation for any manager, really. So, yeah, look, they've got to blot it out. It's a little bit like the Alexander Isak situation. You've got to kind of park that player, let them move on, and look after the players that do want to be there and get behind them. And I do look at that starting 11 today, and it feels quite light, I think, in terms of championship quality. A lot of new faces. Cindy Tavares in central midfield, Kagbo out on the left. These could be players that make a difference, but yeah, it's not ideal. They don't look like they're going to be one of the stronger sides in the championship this season.
No, and it's been a really sticky start for them as well, as the players start to come out at Ewood Park. They've lost both their games so far. They've also been dumped out of the Carabao Cup by League One side Bradford. I mean, I hate saying this. It's the second game of the championship season. Is there pressure on Ismaël? I mean, we know what club owners can be like.
Let's see. Yeah, let's see. I mean, they were only just 2 points off the playoffs last season, so they had a very, very good season. I'd say that was above expectation. This time around, I think they'd be delighted with probably a mid-table finish. I just don't see many goals in the team. Goals are the big currency, aren't they? You've got a Hashi. I don't see him as a prolific number 9. He starts. Maktar Gay is on the bench as the replacement. There's a lot resting on the shoulders of Todd Cantwell, who takes the captain's armband today. But yeah, I think it could be a tough season for Blackburn. And look, if Valérien Ismaël sees out the season, he'll have done pretty well, because this is the championship. How many times do you see championship managers start a season and also finish it?
Not very often. Not often at all. I don't even know why I'm laughing, because I think it's shocking. But at the same time, this is the championship. It is absolutely brutal. Just a reminder for you, more championship action. Live commentary of Ipswich against Southampton. It's a 12 o'clock kickoff here on Talksport 2, an exclusive. Joe Shannon and former Ipswich midfielder Darren Ambrose will be in the seat for that one. But looking forward to the game at Ewood Park this afternoon. It's Blackburn against Birmingham. Sit back and enjoy in the company of your commentators, Adrian Clark and Ian Danter.
Thank you very much, Faye, and a very good afternoon to you wherever and however you're tuned in to Talksport 2, as our double bill of EFL live commentaries continues here in Lancashire at the home of Blackburn Rovers, celebrating their 150th anniversary this year, as are their visitors today, Birmingham City. There have been honour caps handed out in the past 10 minutes or so to the great and the good from Blackburn's past, including the late, great Sir Jack Walker, who 30 years ago was the mastermind owner behind Blackburn Rovers' Premier League title success. Shearer, Sutton, Ripley and all those involved. Blackburn of the current vintage are a fair way removed from that, but they did just miss out on the playoffs last year. Defeat at West Brom last weekend was not the ideal start, nor, it would appear, the want away Lewis Travis making overtures of wanting to leave the club for Derby County. As for Birmingham City, life back in the Championship began with a 1-1 draw against Ipswich Town just over a week ago, live on Talksport. What can they do on their first away trip, backed by 7,000 Birmingham fans away to our right in the Darwen end? Blackburn will be in their famous blue and white halves with the white shorts and the blue socks. Birmingham in their new third kit of all red today. And Blackburn will be attacking the Darwen end away to our right. Myself and Adrian sat right at the back of the Sir Jack Walker stand here at Ewood Park, with the Ronnie Clayton Blackburn end to our left, and the Riverside stand, that single-tier stand, opposite. I'll run you through the lineups in just a minute. I'll also keep you updated with all the goals that are going in elsewhere. We've had a busy day as it is already, with Norwich and West Brom and Coventry all winning away from home in the Championship this Saturday lunchtime. And it's Todd Cantwell who will help get us underway here, aided by Augustus Cargbo. Two of the players brought in by Valerian Ismailis. 3 changes have been made from a week ago. Cantwell back heels it, and Sidney Tavares, the other change, floats it downfield straight into the arms of Ryan Alsop. So we are off and underway on Talksport. The lineups have Blackburn with Tot in goal, Alibiosu, Hyam, McLaughlin and Ribeiro in a back 4. Tronstadt and Tavares holding in midfield, Hedges, Cantwell and Cargbo behind Ohashi. Birmingham with Alsop the keeper, Osai Samuel, Clara, Neumann and Cochrane in their back 4. Peck and Iwata holding Gray, Stansfield, Anderson and Kyogo the front 4. And it's Kyogo who's trying to get after a throw-in down the near left-hand side, forcing Dominic Hyam to put it out of play for a throw to Birmingham, down by the corner flag at that Blackburn end away to our left, with the score at 0-0 with a minute gone.
Yeah, looking forward to this game, especially looking forward to seeing this Birmingham side backed by just quite incredible away following here at Ewood Park today. They are making quite some noise.
Long throw coming in then for Alex Cochrane, 10 yards from the dead ball line, into the near post, and Clara, the new club captain at Birmingham City after Christian Billett was sold. Cochrane sends the ball back into the area. It's headed across goal and just wide. It took a touch off a Blackburn defender. Kyogo was up at the far post, but Blackburn did enough to guide it behind for Birmingham's first corner of the game, 0-0.
Oh, it was half chance, wasn't it? It was a good ball into the box from Cochrane. They attack it inside the box. Kyogo was there, Keshi Anderson was there. It's deflected over in the end, and they have themselves a corner, Birmingham.
Where the Blackburn end meets the Jack Walker stand that we're sat in. So a right-footed in-swinger to come from Damari Gray. Looking to send it to the near post. It's headed out by Cargbo at the near post. Comes out to the edge of the box. Bit of head tennis. Drops for Iwata on the volley, and it clatters right into the defender, Dominic Hyam, who stayed down. He felt that because, well, that was given a right old clatter by Peck in the end, the South Korean midfielder. And Hyam's going to need some treatment, 0-0.
Well, Peck could not have hit that volley any sweeter. I think that was goal-bound, you know. Caught it beautifully. And Hyam's in the way. He's unlucky. I mean, it's a brilliant block. You don't know anything about it. I'm pretty impressed, actually, that Hyam's able to get up so quickly, because that must have winded him.
Doesn't need any treatment. Grimsby lead Newport by 1-0 early on in League 2. Grimsby unbeaten so far, and Courtney Baker-Richardson has scored an own goal to put Grimsby ahead at Blundell Park. 0-0 here with just under 3 minutes gone at Ewood Park. Here's Cargbo leaving it in midfield. Ohashi has to run back towards the halfway line. He's caught by Gray as he released the ball, but the referee Oliver Langford waves play on, with Blackburn still in possession. Tronstadt works it back to Hyam on the halfway line. Square ball for his fellow centre-half McLaughlin, who's faced up by Kyogo. And so it's worked back for Sidney Tavares. Stoke lead at Sheffield Wednesday early on in the Championship. Millian Manhoof for Stoke City, who saw off Derby County with a minimum of first last weekend. And Walsall 1-0 up at Barnet through Connor Barrett in League 2. 0-0 here, Adrian. 3.5 minutes gone at Ewood Park.
Yeah, look, they're just trying to get a bit of confidence here. Blackburn Rovers looking to keep the ball. I noticed they did have more possession than West Bromwich Albion last weekend at the Hawthorns. Ismail is known, or was known, for being a very direct coach, but trying to bring more football to the team.
Cochrane fires it over halfway for Jay Stansfield, cutting in field, gets toward the edge of the area. Gray picks it up now at the edge of the box. He's got Osai Samuel on the overlap, uses him. Osai Samuel takes a touch, doesn't send the cross in first time, then works it back outside the box for Iwata. Iwata teases it into the centre, headed clear by Hyam, only as far as Cochrane. Cochrane goes for goal, beaten out by the goalkeeper Tot well, and it's cleared away for a throw into Birmingham, but Alex Cochrane let fly with a daisy cutter, and Balázs Tot had to be swiftly down to his left to keep it out. 0-0.
Yeah, it's a decent save. Cochrane made a big impression early on in this game. It was his cross that led to the only chance of the game, and this was a good strike. It's a side footer, really. Doesn't put his laces through it, but it's heading towards the bottom corner, but it's pushed away. He gets good distance on it, the keeper.
Still down the right-hand side with Birmingham City trying to work something from the throw. They've won another throw about 5 or 6 yards from the corner flag on the far side, on the Riverside stand side of the pitch. And they make nothing of it. Asai Samuel makes a bit of a Horlicks of that throw. So Blackburn will have the ball back with a throw in their left-back position. But Tavares gives it away to Stansfield. Out on the left-hand side for Blackburn, it's headed away by Tronstadt, but again Birmingham win it back. Gray, but he's dispossessed, and Ohashi brings it clear for Blackburn and looks down this near side the right for Carbo. Intercepted by Cochrane, but it's Alebiosu who picks up the loose ball. Now just over halfway once again is the Japanese striker Ohashi. Blackpool 0, Huddersfield 1 in League One. Ben Wiles for Huddersfield saw them knock out Leicester in the Carabao Cup on Wednesday, and Blackpool having a dreadful start under Steve Bruce so far this League One season. Here in the Championship, 5.5 minutes gone. Blackburn Rovers 0, Birmingham City 0. Peck is dispossessed well by Ohashi, scampering back from the 18-yard line of the Birmingham City box, and it's given back to Dominic Hyam inside his own half. Wigan 1, Peterborough 0 in League One. Christian Sadie, former Portsmouth man, and Lincoln lead Plymouth early on in the same division by a goal to 0. Tom Bayliss for the Imps. 0-0 here at Ewood Park. Adrian Clark's alongside me for the afternoon.
Yeah, just looking at the shape of Birmingham. Stansfield, when out of possession, can drop in and be that 10, but really it is 4-4-2 for Birmingham here today. They're both looking to press high. And I think it's a combination that's going to work really nicely for Chris Davis and the Blues this season.
Cochrane at left back for Birmingham finds Peck under pressure, and he was just clipped there by Ohashi. So Birmingham win a free kick inside their own penalty area. 0-0 the score. Well, Ewood Park not a happy hunting ground for the visitors. Blackburn are 10 matches unbeaten here at Ewood Park against Birmingham City, and their last 4 wins in the last 4 league meetings, they scored 15 goals in the process.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bogey ground, isn't it, for Birmingham? If you go even further back, they've lost 2 of 38.
Yes, it's
yeah. So look, a lot of the supporters behind the goal to our right will have seen some poor results at this stadium, but the feel-good factor has brought them along here today, no doubt.
Here's Peck Sung-ho. Gives it back to Cochrane, and then the captain, Clara, for Birmingham, just runs through the challenge of Ohashi. Nearly took it off his toe. That was dangerous and very nearly led to Blackburn getting a running on goal there. But as it is, Birmingham have it on halfway with left-back Cochrane. Works it back for Clara once more. He hits a ball into out, looking for Asai Samuel, right-hand side, but that's gobbled up by Yuri Ribeiro. Heads clear for Blackburn, but Neumann, one of the new arrivals at Birmingham in the summer, tried to tease it down the right-hand side, went down, claiming he was being fouled, nothing doing. In the Championship, Preston lead Leicester City by a goal to 0 at Deepdale. Alfie Devine, who presumably doesn't have a personal trainer anymore. None of them do, I don't think. Paul Heckingbottom's banned them all.
Has he? I didn't know that, yeah.
Oh, yeah, well, because Daniel Jebison picked up an injury in a personal training session, and I think Heckingbottom said enough is enough, none of you can have one. Now here's Alebiosu, who's got him behind Clara, who's fallen. Alebiosu goes for goal, what a save also! Although the whistle's gone for a foul on Christoph Clara, and Alebiosu took it off his toe. Oliver Langford took his time to decide that, but Ryan Alebiosu wasn't to know, steamed into the box, and also didn't know a foul had been given and made a great save, but ultimately it means nothing. 0-0, 9 minutes gone on Talksport.
Yeah,
2.
Wonderful save from Ryan Alsop. Was it a foul or wasn't it a foul? Alebiosu, it was a tangle of legs, and he went to ground, didn't he, Clara? And I did think that the whistle was going to blow, but the assistant was right there, very, very close, and he didn't see anything wrong. It was the referee that ultimately made that call.
Stays 0-0 then on Talksport 2. Hedges playing on the left-hand side for Blackburn today. He was on the right of the three against West Bromwich Albion a week ago, but Cargbo prefers that right-hand side. It's clear. Gray's brought down by Tavares just over halfway. Free kick to Birmingham City now. Goals going in elsewhere. MK Dons 1, Cheltenham Town 0. Jack Sanders for the Dons. Fleetwood lead at Bromley through James Bolton. That's 1-0 there. And earlier today, as I mentioned, Coventry, Norwich and West Brom all one away. You heard West Brom's 3-2 win at Wrexham live here on your home of the EFL Talksport 2. Villa Newcastle was 0-0 over on Talksport Saturday lunchtime. And Mansfield won at Exeter. Chesterfield 3 wins from 3 for the Spyrights. They beat Bristol Rovers 3-1. Oldham 1, Swindon 2 and Rochdale 2. Altrincham 1 in the National League lunchtime kickoff. You are up to date with what's going on. There are some Premier League games as well today. 3 o'clock kickoffs. Brighton, Fulham, Sunderland, West Ham and Spurs, Burnley. Keep you updated with those two. Goal kick to Blackburn. Bit scrappy in these first 10 minutes, Adrian Clark.
It hasn't really settled down, has it? But I think what we're seeing here is two teams that want the ball and want to pass it, pass and move. You know, we haven't seen too many long balls, apart from those diagonal switches of play. Both teams looking to play out from the back through the thirds. It's a nice match to watch, but yeah, hasn't really settled into any kind of pattern yet. One thing that's really struck me is how often the Birmingham centre-halves have the ball at their feet with Clara and Neumann, and they look very composed. They're sort of imperious pairing, aren't they? And because of the way Birmingham pin teams in, they end up playing very high up the pitch, often inside the opposition half.
Birmingham trying to win the ball back in Blackburn's defensive third, but Dominic Heinecombe chip it up towards halfway. Ohashi chests it down neatly for Cargbo. He'll leave it for Tronstadt. Now Cantwell having a chance to run down this near touchline. Just checks in field as Anderson gets goal side of him. Works it back in field via Tronstadt to McLaughlin, just inside his own half. Out to the left-hand side. Hedges has come to receive possession now for Blackburn Rovers. But under pressure, it goes back to Balash Tots. Ainsley pairs out with a muscle injury. Tot would appear to be the number one at Blackburn for the moment, whilst Pears is out injured. Anderson chests the ball out of play. Throw given to Blackburn Rovers. And you're right in what you say, Adrian Clark, about Blackburn playing through the thirds, because Valérien Ismaël, for better or worse, has this reputation as a long ball coach, with the way he introduced Daryl Dike into English football at Barnsley, but it's not the case with this Blackburn
West
side.
West Brom as well. Super direct team. It was all about long throws. It was about percentages. You know, they would press high, but they would boom it high over the top, and we don't really see that from Blackburn Rovers. So he's evolving as a coach. He obviously doesn't feel he's got the players to play that way.
Oh, Matt Targay could play that as a Hashi, isn't it? He's on the bench. Hashi is the player that gets the nod in attack. Birmingham coming forward with Jay Stansfield. Finds Damari Gray just in front of the centre circle. Plays it right, looking for Asai Samuel, but that was come to be picked off by Hedges. And Blackburn can now try and counter-attack. 12.5 minutes gone. Ohashi out left. Tavares tries to work it down the left-hand side of the box for Hedges, who got involved in a little shoulder charge with Neumann, and the ball just trickles over the dead ball line for a Birmingham City goal kick as Tottenham take the lead against Burnley in the Premier League. Richarlison making it Spurs 1, Burnley 0. Spurs are back, says Jamie O'Hara. Possibly.
Let's see. That was good defending from Neumann. He's caught the eye so far. He's won a couple of duels already, a couple of 50-50s there with Hedges, who's quick. He just holds his own and sees the ball out for a goal kick.
Taken by Allsop downfield. McLaughlin heads it back towards halfway, but Birmingham pick up the pieces. When that goal kick was taken by Ryan Allsop, you could have got a picnic blanket over all the outfield players massed around the halfway line.
Yeah, it was like a 15-20 yard square, wasn't it? Yeah, amazing really. But yeah, it did look very strange to see so much of the pitch empty.
Neumann hits it downfield looking for Stansfield with a direct pass, but it's headed away by Blackburn. But Birmingham City tidy up. And here's Cochrane, who had that half chance a couple of moments ago with that drive from outside the box that Tot did well to save. Cochrane works it back to his captain, Clara, on halfway. Hyam is in position at the back as Neumann picks it up now for Birmingham City. Asai Samuel just caught by Ribeiro as he released the ball back to Neumann, and that was spotted by Oliver Langford. And it's a free kick to Birmingham City with 14 minutes gone on Talksport 2 here at Ewood Park. Adrian Clark.
Yeah, Asai Samuel obviously has come in for Ethan Laird, and Ethan Laird's a good player. So that's a pretty ruthless decision as well from the manager, Chris Davis. One thing I've noticed tactically when they have the ball, Birmingham, Damari Gray comes infield to almost play as a right side number 10, with Asai Samuel very advanced, offering the width on the right. When I think of Damari Gray and his big impacts down the years, it's been hugging the touchline, taking players on.
Quick throw from Birmingham, trying to get Keshi Anderson in behind, but it was well dealt with at the back from Blackburn. Clara for the visitors, just ahead of the halfway line. Plays it left for Cochrane, who's immediately set upon by Cargbo. He thinks he's want to throw for Blackburn, but it's been given the other way. Blackpool 1, Huddersfield 1. Niall Ennis equalises for the Seasiders at Bloomfield Road. Cochrane's now been caught by Cargbo after he tried to get another quick throw going, so Birmingham City have a free kick just about 2 yards in from this near touchline at the midway point of the Blackburn half. And Cargbo's just been spoken to by the referee, just being told to calm things down a little bit, yet to produce a yellow card in this opening quarter of an hour, the referee. So a chance for Cochrane to swing a free kick in. Blackburn are going to hold their line on the 18-yard line, it seems. 2 or 3 Birmingham players at the moment standing in offside positions. That will presumably change. Cantwell, just a one-man wall, stood 10 yards from where Cochrane's going to send this free kick in from the left-hand side, so it should swirl away from the goalkeeper. He actually drills it far too far. It's gone beyond everybody. 2 bounces, and it's out of play for a Blackburn throw, 0-0.
Oh dear. That went a little bit pear-shaped, didn't it, for Cochrane, who's had such a good start to this match. But yeah, he's gone for the driven delivery, and he's just overcooked it, and it's gone sailing over the heads of everybody.
Ribeiro tries to clear off the backside of Damari Gray. Out of play. Gray back at Birmingham after 10 years away. Won the title at Leicester City when he went there directly from Birmingham. Been playing abroad, but brought back and hoping that he can be part of something very special at the club he came through as an academy youngster.
Saudi, wasn't he, most recently?
That's right, Al Ettifaq was the club he was at.
Birmingham must be paying a good wage. That's all I can say, to lure somebody back from there. As well as obviously the ties and the nostalgia.
I think that might have had something to do with it, but not completely.
No.
Here's Iwata, just over halfway. 17 minutes gone if you're just tuning into EFL Game Day live on Talksport 2. Blackburn Rovers 0, Birmingham City 0. Jay Stansfield on this near touchline plays a 1-2 with Anderson. Tries to work his way further in field, but his route is blocked well by Tronstadt and it ends up going out of play. MK Dons 2, Cheltenham 0. Alex Gilby for the Dons, starting this season a bit better after what was a pretty poor return last campaign when everybody expected more from them.
Oh, just a bit, yeah. It was an awful campaign, wasn't it? But yeah, with Paul Warne at the helm, money spent, I think MK will do well this season. One player we haven't seen much of so far, Dance, is Keshi Anderson. Really prominent, wasn't he, on the opening night in that drawn game against Ipswich? I thought he was really strong. He won 14 duels in that game. No one across the Championship won more on the opening weekend. I thought he was really involved from start to finish, but yeah, he's been on the edge of this game so far.
And Blackburn have it with Alabiosu. Plays it down the right-hand side of the area for Tronstadt. Thought about working across into the box, and he gives it back to Cantwell. He feinted to cross and then kept it away from Stansfield, worked it back to Hyam. Now it's for McLaughlin, but they won't put the ball in the box. Instead it goes back to Todd, the goalkeeper, who stood just beyond the midway point of his own half. He floated a diagonal out to this near side, the Blackburn right, looking for Alabiosu, but that was Anderson tidying up, and it's back with Ryan Alsop, the other goalkeeper out there, wearing all black for Birmingham City today. 0-0 the score, 18.5 minutes gone on your home of the EFL Talksport 2. Ian Dante and Adrian Clark with you at Ewood Park. Here's Damari Gray taking the ball on his chest, trying to flick it out to Asai Samuel, but it was taken off his toe by Tavares, and that'll be a throw to Birmingham City, 0-0.
Yeah, we got such a good vantage point up here at the back of the stand, and we can see the pattern of the game. When they have it, it's actually not 4-2-3-1, it's 3-2-4-1, and with Gray as a right side number 10, Stansford as the left side number 10, and Asai Samuel really wide and high. It's a really good shape, and you can see that Davis has worked ever so hard on it.
Keshi Anderson receives the ball from Cochrane, gives it back to his left back, and then it's stroked back to Clara on halfway. Cambridge 1, Harrogate 0 in League 2. Cambridge haven't started well this season, but Luis Apere has given them the lead at the Abbey. Crossfield ball for Birmingham City, picking out Asai Samuel, right-hand side, level with the 18-yard line, running at Ribeiro, gets into the area, just lofts a ball to the far post, but actually lands on the roof of the net. It was nowhere near anybody in Birmingham Red coming forward, so Blackburn have themselves a goal kick away to our left-hand side, and it stays goalless on Talksport 2.
Got to do better than that, hasn't he, Bright Asai Samuel? It's a gorgeous switch, wasn't it, from Jay Stansfield? He sort of dropped in, held it up and just pinged it out to him. It was an overlapping run from Gray, and looking at the choice of cross, maybe he should have slipped in Gray on the outside, but those two have potential to really give Rovers some headaches here today.
0-0 the score, and we've got more live football for you tomorrow from the Championship. Ipswich Town against Southampton is a high noon kickoff on Sunday at Portman Road. Got some Super League coming up on Talksport 2 straight after this. Hull FC against Lee. Great season back in the Super League that Lee Leopards are having. Chris Price and Paul Cook will be your commentary team for that one in Super League. Then, of course, Fight Night tonight, which starts on Talksport 2 at 7:30, and then we'll switch to Talksport at 9. It's Riyadh season, and it is Moses Itama against Dillian White that heads the card.
Good fight. I mean, that's sort of a clash of the generations, isn't it?
It is.
He's so young, Itama. Is he 20?
Yeah,
remarkable. Yeah, will young defeat old there? I wonder.
I have a contact who knows his boxing, as far as I'm concerned, who reckons it will be done by Itoma inside 4 rounds.
Wow, okay.
Make of that what you will. Blackpool 2, Huddersfield 1. Back in League 1, Lee Evans has turned it around for Steve Bruce's Blackpool, who trailed against one of the pace setters in League 1 in Huddersfield Town. 2-1 the score there. 0-0 here at Ewood Park. Blackburn trying to clear from their own defensive third. Hyam hits it against Keshi Anderson, and it's a throw to Blackburn Rovers, who are currently in their 8th successive season at Championship level after League 1 promotion under Tony Mowbray, who's here today receiving an honour cap from the club. Tomoki Iwata finds Pek Sung Ho out to the Birmingham left and Anderson. Trying to get the better of Alibiosu, ran out of room on this near touchline, and it's out of play for a throw-in to Rovers. Alibiosu takes it quickly. Hyams come out to the right-hand side of the area and just lofts it high downfield, and it's going to bounce away from both Ohashi and Clara, and it will drift out of play for a throw for Birmingham City, which Cochrane takes quickly.
Yeah, talking about Tony Mowbray, it was a great ovation, wasn't it, for him? Ahead of kick-off from all 4 sides of the ground. So he's really highly regarded at Birmingham. Very short spell there, but
had to step away because of illness.
Yeah, serious illness.
A long ball downfield looking for Stansfield. Headed away, though, by Hyam. Gray picks up the loose ball, runs into trouble in the shape of Ribeiro, who did well for Blackburn, and then in steps Ryan Hedges equally well to keep it away from Asai Samuel. Keeps it in play on the far side and gets into the Birmingham half. Plays a 1-2 with Ohashi. Good run from Ryan Hedges. Tried to clip it infield, but by that time Asai Samuel had got back up with play and was able to nick it away from any Blackburn players who were trying to get onto it. But then Ohashi does so well to win it back. Dribbles the ball into the area, but Carbo caught on his heels, and it's through to the keeper. Watford 1, QPR 0 in that. Do you call that a London derby? It's not really, is it? No, it's a Hertfordshire-London derby. Luca Kjermgaard gives Watford the lead. I do hope I pronounced that right. Here's Peck for Birmingham City. Left-hand side, drifting all the way towards the edge of the penalty area. Being watched by Alibiosu. Tries to play it through the legs of Carbo to get Stansfield away. But again, Blackburn get the benefit of the ricochet, make it work for them, but then it's just lofted downfield, and Clara has plenty of time to collect. Midway through the first half, here on Talksport 2 at Ewood Park, still waiting for the deadlock to be broken between Blackburn Rovers and Birmingham City. Walsall 2 up on Barnet now at the Hive. Aaron Presley and Salford in the same Division League 2 lead Accrington Stanley by a goal to 0. That's Ben Woodburn with the goal for the Yammies.
Want more shots, don't we, Dance? Just 2 registered so far in the game, none for Blackburn Rovers, even though Alabiosu did almost score because he was flagged offside, it didn't count.
Anderson just gets the better of Alabiosu, clips the ball to the far post. Great when Asai Samuel went up, and it was volleyed away by Tavares in a hurry to get it out of play for a Birmingham throw, but Anderson involved in dumping Alabiosu on the seat of his pants, but the cross couldn't find Asai Samuel. 0-0.
Yeah, look, he loves it at Birmingham. Keshi Anderson, I think he's done superbly since arriving at the club, and that was a good piece of play for him against Alabiosu, who started off at Arsenal.
He did.
Yeah, he was come through the academy, had a lot of games for the 21s. It's good to see him having a career in the second tier of English
Belgian football.
Yeah.
He was in the Kortrijk club until July. A second for Watford, a second for Luca Kjærumgaard. Watford 2, QPR 0 in the Championship. 0-0 here at Ewood Park. The ball's worked back to the Birmingham City goalkeeper Ryan Alsop. James Beadle is in on loan for the season. The England under-21 winning goalkeeper from the summer, on loan from Brighton, but Alsop still keeping the #1 jersey in the league at least, although Beadle got a run out in the game against Sheffield United in the League Cup in midweek. Peck spots Neumann in a bit of space just on the halfway line. Neumann immediately fires it out to Asai Samuel. Infield it goes to Tomoki Iwata. Iwata, early ball, clipped down the right-hand side of the box. Kyogo brings it down, trying to measure across back into the box, but ran out of room. And it ends up being a goal kick to Blackburn Rovers away to our left. 25 minutes gone, no score.
Yeah, no score, not enough chances in the game. We've seen some good football, and that move there from Birmingham City was a lovely watch, wasn't it? Very patient, 1 and 2 touch play. Good combinations and triangles. Then they switch the ball over to the far side. You know, they do move it nicely, Birmingham, but they're struggling at the moment to get Kyogo and Stansford on the ball inside the final third, aren't they? That's the challenge that they face, and so far Blackburn have done a good job of containing them.
Ahashi and Stansfield getting a tangle right in front of the 2 technical areas, and it's given us a foul by Stansfield on Ahashi, so Blackburn have a free kick. Blackpool 3, Huddersfield 1. Niall Ennis, what a turnaround at Bloomfield Road in League One. MK Dons get a third at home to Cheltenham Town. Callum Patterson with the goal for MK Dons, and Crewe looking for a third straight league win of 1-0 up in League Two at home to Crawley Town through Tommy O'Reilly. Keeping you bang up to date with all the goals as they go in this Saturday afternoon on your home of the EFL Talksport 2. Here's Philip Neumann for Birmingham City. 2-0 to Salford now as well. They've got a second against Accrington. Luke Garbett for the Ammies. Diagonal ball picks out Keshi Anderson on Birmingham City's left. Tucks it infield for Peck. He just clips it back 5 yards or so for Cochrane. Plays a 1-2 with Iwatu. Knew that Ahashi was his countryman was coming in just behind him. Clara now steps forward. Rides a couple of challenges, plays it out to Asai Samuel, right wing. Ribeiro out there with him though. It's worked infield quickly to Damari Gray. Tries to get on the afterburners and get the cross in. He was well watched by Hedges, but it is a Birmingham City corner at the Blackburn end, 0-0.
Wow, such classy play from Clara, isn't it? Just, he got away with one earlier on in the game where he tried to dribble inside his own half. He did it, but it was a bit risky. On this occasion, he just looked smooth, he looked effortless, and he broke the lines and he took Birmingham up the pitch, and they worked it really nicely to that right-hand side, and Gray showed a good turn of speed to win the Reds a corner here.
So a corner for Cochrane where the Riverside stand, that gap between the Riverside stand and the Blackburn end away to our left. Be a left-footed in-swinger when it comes, but the referee first of all wants to have a word with a couple of players, one from each side. One of those is Kyogo Furuhashi. I think the other is McLaughlin at the back for Blackburn. Either way, referee spotted something he doesn't like and wants to remind both players of their responsibilities before the corner kick can be taken. 0-0. Approaching the half-hour mark on Talksport 2 in bright sunshine in Lancashire. Cochrane with this left-footed delivery then. Raises his right arm. Drills it beyond the far post. Kept in play by Pek Seung-ho and drills it back across the face. It got headed out. And that didn't come... If that was one off the training ground, that didn't come off the way Birmingham City wanted it to. Asai Samuel loses out as well to the strength of Augustus Cargbo, and Blackburn have a throw. And Asai Samuel is going to get himself a booking here for preventing the throw being taken when it should have been.
Yeah, well, he's only got himself to blame there. Yeah, they know the rules. They know the referees are going to be really hot on that at the start of a season. But you're right about that corner. Definitely not training ground routine. I don't know what's in his boots, Cochrane, but that's two. He's really overhit now.
An anvil, I think. Here's Ohashi down the left-hand side of the area for Blackburn, trying to work an opportunity. Watched by Neumann and Asai Samuel. Gets it back to Ribeiro. Ribeiro just can't get past the challenge of Iwata, but it does go out of play for a throw to Blackburn, almost at the corner flag where the Riverside meets the Darwin end. Wigan 2, Peterborough. Jason Kerr with a second goal for the Latics, not too far down the road from here at the DW. Blackburn take the throw. Cantwell controls it on that far left-hand side for Rovers. Gives it back to Ribeiro. Hedges is there too. Cantwell level with the 18-yard line. Clips the neat ball in field to McLaughlin. Back it goes via Ribeiro to Hyam at the edge of the centre circle. Under pressure from Stansfield. Turns away from him, and under pressure has to give it back quickly to his goalkeeper, Tot, who then hits a right-footed ball into out looking for Cargbo, and he loses out because the ball drifts over both his head and the head of Keshi Anderson. He claims he was being caught in the face by Keshi Anderson there, Augustus Cargbo, but nothing doing. Leyton Orient 0, Stockport County 1. Nathan Lowe, that's his first for Stockport. Had a great season in League 2 with Walsall before Stoke recalled him.
Good low move for Nathan Lowe, that. Stockport, an excellent team. They'll be at the top end of the division. That's a repeat of the playoff semi-final, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Which Leyton Orient won, but ultimately didn't get through in the final. Cargbo giving chase down the right-hand side, but just hit too firmly down that right-hand channel for him to catch up. So it's a Birmingham City goal kick away to our right-hand side as Bromley equalise at home to Fleetwood. What a week they have had, knocking out Ipswich Town on penalties. You heard it here on the Talksport network in the Carabao Cup, and Marcus Dinaga has equalised for Bromley against Fleetwood at Hayes Lane.
Yeah, Blackburn are struggling, aren't they, to make any headway really against this Birmingham City side.
But then Birmingham City have only had one real gilt-edged chance, and that came from distance, from the man who's in possession now.
Yeah, neither side just really stretched the other that much.
Here's Cochrane for Birmingham, whipping the ball in from deep, cleared away from McLaughlin, away from the attentions of Kyogo. Cantwell knocks it down neatly. Now Ohashi giving chase down the left-hand side, and he'll get there for Blackburn. Iwata's gone out there with him. Further down the left-hand side goes Ribeiro, and he's got the better of Asai Samuel for the moment, down by the corner flag. Now the Birmingham defender back goal side, and Gray comes in to help out and just puts it out for a throw on that Riverside stand side for Blackburn Rovers. But they can work this into the penalty area at 0-0 with 13 minutes to half-time on Talksport 2.
Absolutely, and well played Ribeiro. Really good work rate, wasn't it? Didn't want to come off second best there, and look, Asai Samuel's got to be careful here. He's treading a fine line.
He's been booked, remember, for preventing a throw-in being taken. Blackpool 3, Huddersfield 2. Lyndon Gooch gets one back for Huddersfield. Ribeiro down the left-hand side for Blackburn, just jinks away from Damari Gray. Left-hand corner of the area, puts the ball in just over the head of Carbo, who tried to rise and nod it goalwards, but it was a good 6 inches over his head. Hyam recycles it back to the edge of the area. Then it's Clara who just lumps it downfield, asking Stansfield to give chase. Hyam gets there first and nods it back well to his keeper. That had to be done right, otherwise Stansfield could well have been in behind. 0-0. Offside flag goes up against Cantwell, so Birmingham City get themselves a free kick. Reading 0, AFC Wimbledon 1. Matty Stevens, such a good goal getter for the Dons, opens the scoring at the Select Car Leasing.
It hasn't been the start to the season Reading dreamed of, that's for sure. At least they're in safer hands now as a club, but yeah, on the pitch, the result's not been good to this point.
0-0 here at Ewood Park with 12 minutes to the break. Phil Neumann for Birmingham City plays it backwards a square to Clara inside the centre circle. The Austrian and the German exchanging passes once more. Here comes the German, Neumann, joined from the Hanover club, signed in January but didn't move to Birmingham City until July. Now Asai Samuel down the right-hand side, but there's two Blackburn players on, and one of them is Hedges, working really hard to keep the ball, or try and win the ball back, but it has gone out for a Birmingham throw, 0-0.
Well, yeah, doesn't it show the confidence that Birmingham had, that they would go up, that they would sign a player from a big club like Hanover mid-season, and, you know, with the proviso that you'll join in the summer. I think all parties there were confident Birmingham would be a championship club at that point.
Yeah. And Asai Samuel, he's fouled his man again. This time Cantwell was the man he brought down as he tried to win the ball back. And as Adrian Clark alongside me has pointed out, with that yellow card against Asai Samuel's name, maybe that's something that Chris Davis will keep an eye on. Ethan Laird is an obvious replacement if he feels that he's walking the tightrope too much. Barrow 1, Notts County 0 up at Holker Street. Tyler Walker with the goal for Barrow, and Bradford lead Luton by a goal to 0. Stephen Humphreys for the Bantams back in League One against the team relegated from the Championship.
Yeah, I was there on the opening Saturday, and Bradford really impressed me. They beat Wickham that day, and got something about them. And I thought that might be a tough test, that, for Luton.
I think it's a tough test for every visiting team to Valley Parade, given the number of supporters that turn out there with the season ticket offers they've had for quite some time. 0-0 here with 10 minutes to half-time on Talksport 2 at Ewood Park. Birmingham have won a throw after a bit of lax play at the back from Blackburn, but it's only 20-25 yards inside Blackburn territory on the Riverside stand side. Asai Samuel is going to take it. Iwata is there short for a throw. Not much movement for Asai Samuel. Now Gray just drifts out to the far touchline to join him. Peck now comes short, gives it back to Asai Samuel. Under pressure, works it well back into the centre circle for the captain, Clara. Clara again carrying the ball into the Blackburn half of the field, but he got dispossessed by Cargbo, and now Cantwell's away. Cargbo's gone for the return, but Cantwell didn't see him, and then he ran into both Iwata and Neumann, and the chance was gone for Blackburn to create something. 0-0.
Just didn't have the pace, did he, Todd Cantwell, to get away from Neumann there, but that was slack. And obviously Clara has shown good skill to ghost past attackers on a couple of occasions, but there he tries to be ambitious, gets caught out, and Birmingham were in trouble, weren't they? I think if it's a quicker player than Todd Cantwell, he runs towards goal there and fires off a shot on goal, and as we stand, they still haven't had a shot, Blackburn Rovers, which will be a big disappointment to Valerian Ismail.
And as you mentioned, they only had one on target against West Bromwich Albion in the game we brought you last weekend. Keshi Anderson for Birmingham City at 0-0. 36.5 minutes gone on Talksport 2. Goes to ground, referee says play on. Iwata in centre of the Blackburn half, works it to his right for Neumann. Asai Samuel's waiting for the ball out on the far touchline, but it goes further forward infield to Damari Gray. Gives it back to Neumann. Gray takes it over once more. Neumann takes a touch and has to nick it back to Clara because it was a heavy touch and almost saw Tavares take the ball off his toe. Neumann again looks up, nobody in the box. Now they send the ball in. Look at Stansfield, comfortably headed clear by Hyam, only as far as Clara, but he lost out to Cantwell. And then Ahashi tried to give it back to Cantwell, and Clara managed to chest it away from his man, and it's guided back to the goalkeeper Allsop. Only one goal in the Premier League, 3 o'clock so far. That's come at Spurs, where Tottenham lead Burnley by a goal to 0. In the Championship, finished Derby 3, Coventry 5, Peterborough, Norwich 2, and live on Talksport 2 finished Wrexham 2, West Bromwich Albion 3. The only goals in the Championship so far in the 3 o'clocks: Preston lead at home to Leicester, Stoke 1 up at Sheffield Wednesday, and Watford 2 goals up against QPR. But it's 0-0 here on Talksport 2 at Ewood Park with 38 minutes played. Adrian Clark alongside me, Ian Danter. Stockport County go 2-0 up at Leyton Orient. Joseph Olowu with the second for Dave Challoner's Hatters.
Yeah, for XG fans out there, and I know there are plenty.
You're not looking at
have
one,
a guess.
Have
a guess at the total XG in this match.
I wouldn't even know where to start. Go on.
It's 0.05
for both teams.
That's an aggregate, yeah.
All right.
That basically means no chances.
We've only really had one big chance, and that was for Alex Cochrane, the Birmingham City left back outside the area, well dealt with by Tot in the Blackburn goal. And there was a half chance for a cross from the left hand side that Cochrane put in, but it didn't trouble the goal. But there's a free kick to Birmingham just over halfway at this point. They're attacking the Blackburn end away to our left, the visitors in this first half, in their change strip of all red, making its debut this afternoon. Short free kick worked infield to Pek Sung-ho, just to the right of the centre circle. Diagonal ball into the box. Clara went up, but so too did Hyam. Good defensive header, and there was a push on Hyam as well as he got that header clear. Free kick to Blackburn, and it stays 0-0.
I think what both teams are lacking at the moment is a bit of speed, a bit real acceleration once they get into the opposition half. Blackburn, you look at the personnel, Hashi's bright and bubbly, but hasn't got a lot of power. Cantwell's is a ball player. Hedges hasn't really been in the game. Probably say the same on this near side as well for Cargbo. And then for Birmingham, you've really struggled to get Kyogo into the game. Stansfield only really got onto the ball when he comes short. So yeah, it's neither team is stretching the other, and that's the problem here.
Gray gets pushed by Ribeiro as Blackburn tried to attack down the left-hand side. So a free kick goes Birmingham City's way with 5 minutes to go to half-time.
And how do you stretch teams? You run. And I want to see more off-the-ball running, particularly from Birmingham, really. They come here with this big reputation. Is there enough movement off the ball? You mentioned it a couple of times, lack of movement. I think that's been noticeable.
Well, they're trying to hit a long ball again downfield for Kyogo, but that's meat and drink for Dominic Hyam at the back. It's headed back with interest, and Gray brings it down. Trying to get the benefit of a ricochet to nick it in field for Kyogo, but again Blackburn win it back. Hedges guides it up to Cantwell. Cantwell has the ball taken off his toe. Does he? No, it's classed as a foul by the referee, by Philip Neumann.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. I mean, we're a long way away, but I thought he got plenty of the ball there, Neumann.
Back it goes to Tot, the goalkeeper. Just clips it left to McLaughlin, who joined in the summer from Hull City. Never scored for the Tigers, Sean McLaughlin, in his spell there. You know, that's not his job. His job is to keep them at the other end as part of the back four. He plays it downfield over halfway, looking for Hashi, but Clara stepped in front of his man and then guided it back to Alsop, who just trots outside of his 18-yard box to collect. Barnet 1, Walsall 2. Ollie Hawkins gets one back for the Bees in League 2, that is. We're in the Championship today on EFL Game Day Live. Already we brought you West Brom making it back-to-back wins under Ryan Mason. 3-2 against promoted Wrexham, whilst Derby County 3, Coventry 5. Coventry were 2-1 up and 3-2 down, and then managed 3 goals from out of nowhere.
I've seen both of those sides in the last week, and neither look like scoring.
And you said so on your podcast, I believe.
Yeah, I can't remember where I said it. I think I said it on a betting podcast. I predicted a very low-scoring game, so I've been made to look a real fool there by those two teams.
Happens to us all. Here's Ribeiro for Blackburn Rovers, just at the left-hand corner of his own penalty area. Under pressure from Gray, has to clear it quickly downfield. Neumann and Nahashi both go to ground. Referee sees nothing wrong from either side and allows play to continue. As forward comes Bright Osai Samuel down the Birmingham City right. Gray made a run, but he's not been used ahead of him. Instead, it goes infield to Tomoki Iwata. Back for Neumann. Square for Clara at the edge of the centre circle inside the Blackburn half. To his left is Cochrane, who receives the ball now and immediately sends it out to Anderson, but Anderson knows he's got Alibiosu tracking his every move, and that's credit to Alibiosu, who's not allowing Anderson to get that much space. Ball clipped forward looking for Osai Samuel again, but that's won back by McLaughlin this time. Todd Cantwell for Blackburn, heading towards the last 2 minutes of the first half on Talksport 2, your home of the EFL. Blackburn Rovers looking to get more of a foothold in this game against Birmingham City, against whom they have such a fantastic record, particularly here at home. Ahashi, good skill on halfway, kept it away from 2 players and works it out left for the ever-willing Yuri Ribeiro. The Portuguese left-back just checks his run down the left-hand side and comes back towards halfway, but they've kept possession. Sidney Tavares plays it right for Cantwell. Cantwell has got the captain's armband this afternoon. Oh, lovely ball through the legs by Cargbo against Cochrane. Then he clips the ball into the area looking for Ahashi, but the flag is up against the Japanese. Lovely volley from Ribeiro that crashed against the crossbar, but the assistance flag had long since gone up, and so it's a free kick to Birmingham City on this near side, their left. 0-0 as we are in the latter stages of the first half here at Ewood Park.
Yeah, they still technically haven't had a shot yet. They've almost scored twice. Once the whistle's blown, Blackburn Rovers. Once with Alabiosu down the right, who drew a save from Alsop, and there he crashes a terrific strike, doesn't he, on the volley. The left back Ribeiro, hits the woodwork. Very unlucky, but the whistle had already gone. That was better, and Cargbo was a real live wire there on this right-hand side, wasn't he?
Lovely piece of skill to go through the legs of Alex Cochrane with his little nutmeg. There's a break in play here just for a moment. Ryan Hedges was holding his back at the edge of the Birmingham City penalty area after that attack broke down. Cardiff City 1, Rotherham United 0. Yusuf Saleh, brought in January for Cardiff City. He gets the goal that gives them the advantage at the Cardiff City Stadium. They're in League One now. So lots of fluid being taken on and some impromptu coaching from both Valerian Ismail and Chris Davis down beneath us. And it's Yuki Ohashi that is getting most of the talking to from the Blackburn manager. Chris Davis not really saying a great deal. I think he's leaving it to Tom Huddleston, one of his assistants, to say most of it. 2 minutes of minimum added time is what we're moving into, but there'll be a bit more than that because of this break in play. Hedges is back on his feet, but I think he'll have to go off the field and wait the regulation 30 seconds before he can come back on. Birmingham City have not lost in their last 6 opening away matches of a season. Middlesbrough were the last team to beat them in their first away trip. That was back in 2018-19 season, after Gary Monk had taken charge once of Middlesbrough.
Yeah. And look, no wonder they're confident. You know, they do look confident on the ball, even though they haven't really hurt Rovers in this game. You know, 14 league games unbeaten, obviously stretching way back into the back end of last season. Yeah. This is a team that's used to winning games. And but to win this one, they're going to have to work a bit harder, aren't they? Going to have to run harder, I think, show a bit more sharpness in terms of dragging this well-organised Rovers side out of position.
Back underway, and Clara lobs the ball downfield looking for Kyogo. Again, he's not going to win the jump in height against McLaughlin, but Birmingham win it back. Played into the left-hand side of the area. Anderson tried to pull it across the face of goal. There were 3 waiting. Brilliant interception from Shaw McLaughlin to turn it behind for a corner. He had to make that interception, otherwise there were 3 Birmingham players queuing up to try and score 0-0.
Yeah, great defending, but what about the pass from Peck? Outside of the foot, in behind the defence for a runner. Finally we see one, looking to make a run in beyond. It's Keshi Anderson. But yeah, he's denied by terrific play from McLaughlin. Corner at the Blackburn end, away to our left for Damari Gray. Right-footed in-swinger to come from him. Into the near post, headed out from that near post by Alabiosu. Drops at the edge of the box. Flicked further clear by Cargbo. Where's that going to drop? It's going to drop for Yuri Ribeiro, midway point of his own half. Lobs it infield to Ohashi. Ohashi loses out, but he's being fouled by Iwata. And the 2 Japanese players collide just by the centre circle, and the decision goes Ohashi's way. The 2 minutes of minimum time to be added on for stoppages have elapsed, but there will be a bit more, as I mentioned, so Blackburn will have time potentially to do something with this free kick, just shy of halfway, to be taken by McLaughlin. Got options left and right. It's a fairly central free kick, this. Maybe he's looking to his right for Augustus Carbo. That appears to be where he's looking. That is the target. Cochrane and Clara are there. Clara wins the header, gets it clear for the visitors. Cochrane goes in for a header against Carbo, who's gone down. Then Stansfield loses out to Tronstadt. Ball hooked back towards the Birmingham City penalty area, but they get it clear. And there goes the half-time whistle from Oliver Langford. And mild applause, I think we could say, around the stadium from the Blackburn fans, and indeed the 7,000 Birmingham fans away to our right-hand side, because it's been fairly lukewarm so far in this opening 45 minutes. Blackburn have not registered a shot on target. Birmingham have managed 1. That came from distance through the left-back Alex Cochrane, who hit a low daisy cutter from just out the penalty area that was well dealt with, plunging down low to his left by Balazs Tot. But that's about the sum total of it. It can and must get better in the second half. At the break, Blackburn Rovers 0, Birmingham City 0.
I think you're exactly right there, Dance. I feel a little bit of D-Ream needs to be played. I've written absolutely nothing because there've been very little to say. Was the expected goal stat you said, Clarkie, 0.05?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. This is about as low as it gets. That might be a record for 45 minutes across the EFL so far this season. Yeah, look, nothing from Blackburn. Birmingham just 2 shots, 1 on target, but you wouldn't call them proper clear-cut chances at all. In terms of touches inside the box, Blackburn have had 2, Birmingham 6. You know, that tells the story really of the game. It's been some nice pretty patterns. They've passed the ball okay, but neither side has really stretched the other, and that needs to change.
To be fair, they're not the only ones. Only 4 goals in the Championship in the first half this afternoon, so let's hope for a good second half all round. In fact, all the action is up at Bloomfield Road in League One. Blackpool 3, Huddersfield 2 as it stands. 5 goals and a sending off. Blackpool ahead but down to 10. Niall Ennis scored 2 goals for Steve Bruce's side but has been shown a straight red for a poor challenge. So all the drama is currently there, not where we are. However, fingers crossed for a better second half at Ewood Park. Next here on Talksport 2, the second half between Birmingham and Blackburn, and I'll bring you all the half-time classifieds from the Premier League and EFL.
Online, on DAB+, and on the app. This is Talksport 2.
Party weekend, here we come, babes. You've got the tickets?
Check.
Sunscreen?
Check.
Ironic 90s bucket hat?
Check.
You've defo looked at the train times?
Checking now.
Here's something else you should check. If you're travelling by train this August bank holiday weekend, between Saturday the 23rd and Monday the 25th of August, some journeys may be affected as we make improvements to the railway. Please check before you travel at nationalrail.co.uk/August.
Thanks to a blend of petrol and electric, fill up less this summer with the self-charging Mazda 2 Hybrid Centreline. It's available to finance for £199 per month with 0% APR representative. To go further for less this summer, search Mazda 2 Hybrid. Mazda Financial Services, PCP over 48 months, deposit of 5395, optional final payment of 9833. Indemnities may be required, terms apply, see website.
At this vet, Mia's the owner, surgeon, rota manager and puppy wrangler. And now she and her team are cybersecurity experts too.
Mia, someone tried accessing our system. Phishing scam. I blocked it.
BT Security Awareness Training turns your team into your first line of defence. Quick to set up from just £1.25 per user per month. Cybersecurity is everyone's business. Thankfully, not just Mia's. Search BT Business Cybersecurity. T&Cs apply. Prices exclude VAT at 20%. 12-month minimum term applies.
Get more matches than ever before with Virgin Media's bigger combo and Sports HD bundle, including Sky Sports HD, TV, and M500 broadband. That's big on football, big on tennis, big on cricket, and big weekends glued to the biggest rugby matches. All for our lowest monthly price ever. Visit virginmedia.com. New customers on eligible bundles, Virgin Fibre areas, subject to restrictions and credit check, no setup fee, online only, terms apply.
I'm Professor Noel Fitzpatrick, and as a vet, I know you want the best care for your animal companion. Pet insurance can help, but you need to choose wisely as not all policies are the same. Pet Plan aim to pay claims quickly and without a fuss, and that's one reason why so many vets work with them.
Get your pet the best veterinary care. Save 10% on new policies when you insure at petplan.co.uk. T's and C's apply. Fitz All Media is an appointed representative of Pet Plan Limited.
The Talksport app. Yeah, it's the Talksport app. Swipe left for Talksport 2.
Und touch und engage with stimulating live coverage of the Super League.
Swipe right for Talksport.
Mit unmissable coverage of both der League Cup und der FA Cup across the season.
Give your phone
the finger. Tritt es.
The Talksport app. What are you waiting for? Download it from your app store now.
Hard-hitting football coverage.
He hits it first time. What a volley, what a goal.
Pushing the apex of live football.
And it's in.
EFL Live on Talksport 2. This is Game Day. Half-time classifieds.
You're listening to Talksport 2, the home of the EFL. I'm Faye Carruthers. Let's get your half-time classified scores, shall we? Starting with
Premier League.
Brighton 0, Fulham 0, Sunderland 0, West Ham 0, Tottenham 1, Burnley 0.
Sky Bet Championship.
Blackburn 0, Birmingham 0, Bristol City 0, Charlton 0, Millwall 0, Middlesbrough 0, Preston 1, Leicester 0, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Stoke 1, Swansea 0, Sheffield United 0, Watford 2, QPR 1.
Sky Bet League One.
Barnsley 0, Bolton 0, Blackpool 3, Huddersfield 2, Bradford City 1, Luton 0, Cardiff 1, Rotherham 0, Doncaster 0, Wickham 0, Leyton Orient 0, Stockport 2, Lincoln 1, Plymouth 0, Reading 0, AFC Wimbledon 1, Stevenage 0, Northampton 0, Wigan 2, Peterborough 0.
Sky Bet League Two.
Barnet 1, Walsall 2, Barrow 1, Notts County 0, Bromley 1, Fleetwood 1, Cambridge United 1, Harrogate 0, Crewe 1, Crawley 0, Grimsby 1, Newport 0, MK Dons 3, Cheltenham 0, Salford 2, Accrington 0, Shrewsbury 0, Colchester 0, Tranmere 0, Gillingham 0. Right, EFL Game Day exclusive here on Talksport 2. Second half action of Blackburn against Birmingham in the Championship coming up next.
Online, on DAB+, and on the app. This is Talksport 2.
This weekend, TalkSport's morning conquest continues with another Breakfast of Champions. The Weekend Sports Breakfast with NordVPN. Wake up and smell the match day on the UK's fastest and most well-connected football news network. Make sure you're match fit ahead of all the action with analysis that takes you behind the scenes of all the teams. The Weekend Sports Breakfast, tomorrow morning from 6 on TalkSport with NordVPN. Cybersecurity built for every day. Find out more at nordvpn.com/TalkSport.
Live only on The Zone, August 16th. Moses Atauma, the next heavyweight superstar, faces his greatest challenge, Dillian White. Back to remind the world he's not done yet. Watch only on The Zone.
Direct Line's flexible business cover means I only pay for the cover I need. That's how it's done. Imagine if that's how everything got done. Like dominating the pub quiz.
Final question. What is the population of Mongolia?
3,537,947.
Is absolutely correct. This week's winner is none of your quizness.
Direct Line. That's how it's done.
Underwritten by UK Insurance Limited.
You could be a lotto millionaire like Terry. Get your ticket for tonight's draw. The National Lottery. Rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
Are you feeling more fulfilled now that you're back to work? This August? No. I need a vacation. See the movie that critics are saying is an awesome. Look at that. Crowd-pleasing, fist-pumping, all-out brawl of a film. You're right about that.
They're coming after our family. Go fix this.
Oh, my. Nobody 2. In cinemas now.
Take my money. You, and you gather in the name of chicken. For thou shalt not eat alone. The KFC popcorn bucket. 60 pieces for $5.99. Get the deal. Believe in chicken. KFC. Until 31st of August. Subject to availability. Participating restaurants only. Not available on delivery. See website for full T's and C's.
This season with the Premier League, UEFA Champions League, Europa and Conference League, Emirates FA Cup and Adobe Women's FA Cup all in one place. TNT Sports is not normal. Winning the final 5-0, not normal.
It's history for Paris Saint-Germain.
From relegation threats to Thursday nights is not normal.
A magnificent 7 for Nottingham Forest.
And as for Plymouth dumping Liverpool at the FA Cup.
Simply sensational.
All these competitions in one place, not normal. TNT Sports.
No-nonsense sports coverage.
Oh, he's going all the way.
This is Talksport 2.
Faye Carruthers with you on EFL Game Day exclusive. exclusive. Goalless at Ewood Park in our 3 p.m. commentary here on Talksport 2. Back there very shortly. Only one goal in the Premier League, by the way, this afternoon so far. Earlier it finished 10-man Aston Villa 0, Newcastle 0 live on Talksport. Only Spurs have scored in the 3 o'clock kickoffs. Richarlison with the opener against Burnley. Let's preview the Premier League's 5:30 kickoff. Our reporter Chris Hull is going to be bringing you updates on Talksport. He's up at Molineux. How are you, Chris?
Happy new season, Faye.
Well, it's not for me, kind of, because we kicked off with League One and League Two a couple of weeks ago. So we've been working hard already, Chris, but I hope you've had your feet up. What are we expecting from both these teams this season?
Well, Pep and Man City have won the Premier League an incredible 6 times in the last 8 campaigns, as you know, Faye, and by their recent lofty high standards last season, largely underwhelming, finishing 3rd and 13 points off champions Liverpool. So the citizens looking to get off to a perfect start at Molineux this evening. As you know, Wolves avoided relegation comfortably, finishing 16th, 17 points, what was a weak bottom 3 last season after a late season revival under Vitor Pereira. This campaign, though, Faye, will be a more challenging one, I think. Wolves have actually lost 9 of the last 10 Premier League meetings with Man City. That one victory coming at Molineux, winning 2-1 in September 2023. So they'd like a repeat of that.
Yeah, I'm sure they would do. Who are we looking likely to see the first glimpse of? We know that Erling Haaland usually starts pretty fast.
Yeah, well, Haaland got 22 goals in the Premier League last season, and that was considered disappointing by his high standards. So that shows you what we're expecting from Haaland this year. Of course, Pep has been in the transfer market. He's spent around about 150 million. Shirkai coming in from Lyon, Reinders from Milan, Aït-Nouri coming in, the left-back from Wolverhampton Wanderers, ironically, and James Trafford, who are expecting his Premier League debut for City when the teams are announced in the next couple of minutes, coming in for Burnley for 27 million. Wolves do need more players fast, according to boss Pereira. Of course, they lost Cunha to Manchester United in the summer. Key goals they're losing in Cunha, but they've signed 2 players from Celta Vigo, Strand Larsen and Lopez, and also they've signed Arias from Fluminense for 19 million. All 3 could start this afternoon.
Fascinating. We'll find out soon. I know you're bringing the team news over on Talksport very shortly. We'll speak to you later. Thank you very much, Chris. Take care. Reminder, updates on Wolves against Man City during the game day phone in on Talksport from 5:30. You can get your calls in to Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. 03717 223344 is the number to have you say on all of today's action. Right, let's get back to Ian Danter and Adrian Clark, who are up at Ewood Park ahead of Blackburn's game against second half against Birmingham. It was a drab and dull first half. There is no sugarcoating it at all. So, better to come, Adrian, we're hoping.
It better be better. Yeah, it literally couldn't get much tamer than what we've seen in that first period. Yeah, I like some of the pass and move football, particularly from Birmingham. I've enjoyed watching the 2 centre-backs for Chris Davis's side as well. Neumann and Clara have been really dominant, but in terms of goalmouth action, we've been starved of it, haven't we? And yeah, I just want to see a bit more desire, really, a bit more oomph, for want of a better word, from both sets of players, and that means running. It just means running a little bit harder.
If only it was that easy. I'd like a bit of don't run, just stand in the box and score a goal.
Yeah, but to get in there, you've got to run, and you've got to move your markers away. What we're seeing from both teams is really playing in front of them. We're not getting to see players make those darting runs in beyond the last defender that really stretch the game, and it's important that you have players that do that. So I'm sure that'll be part of the messaging, particularly from Chris Davis at Birmingham, who they'll look at this match and see that if they don't pick up 3 points, I think they'll be pretty disappointed, actually. I don't think Blackburn are going to be one of the stronger sides in the Championship this season.
No, it's going to be fascinating, isn't it? 7,000 Birmingham fans have travelled as well, and certainly not on their feet. Even if they are actually on their feet, because most away fans stand up watching the game anyway, but technically nothing to have got them off their feet yet. Anyway, second half action, fingers crossed it's better. Your commentary team at Ewood Park, Adrian Clark and Ian Danter.
Thank you very much, Faye. Ethan Laird is going through a fairly intense warm-up down beneath us. I spotted during the half-time break, Adrian, that the Birmingham City full-back was not part of the substitutes just kicking the ball around, and I wondered whether that meant he might be brought on for Osai Samuel, who's carrying a yellow card from the first half, and that may be the case, it seems.
Yeah, years of experience, that dance. He spotted it. He used all that nous. All these games that you go to, look at who's not warming up at half-time. I didn't think of looking at that, but you did, so fair play. And I think he will come on at the start of the second half. He's taken his tracksuit off. He's ready, isn't he?
Yeah,
I think that's a really smart move. Osai Samuel is on a yellow, and it feels like they're targeting him a little bit down that side. And also, he didn't look totally assured with his defending, with his decision-making, and wasn't really offering as much as you'd like as an attacking right-back either. So, yeah, I think Laird's going to come on here.
Well, the Birmingham players have just emerged, or started to emerge from the tunnel beneath us. Blackburn's players yet to arrive. I mentioned that Blackburn 10 unbeaten here at Ewood in all competitions against Birmingham. They won 4-2 here last season. That was November of 2023 when Birmingham were last in the Championship, that is. Sammy Smolik scored a couple, Hill and Leonard the other goal scorers. Jay Stansfield was in the Birmingham City side as a lone player, and Ethan Laird came on as a sub in that game too. That was Wayne Rooney's 5th defeat in 7 as the then Birmingham City manager. By the reverse fixture in February at St Andrews, Birmingham won by a 0-0 under Tony Mowbray, who had once been Blackburn boss, against John Eustace, who was in his first game as the new Blackburn boss, having left Birmingham.
There's a lot of blurred lines in there, isn't there?
Oh boy, isn't there ever.
A lot of blurred lines. Yeah, a few connections between these two clubs, and a lot of change in recent times.
So the substitution is being confirmed down beneath us, that Ethan Laird is indeed going to come on for Bright Osai Samuel. A straight swap at fullback. So the Birmingham City, well, going through the Blackburn lineup first of all, the home side. Todd, the goalkeeper, Alabiosu, Hyam, McLaughlin and Ribeiro at the back, Tavares and Tronstadt holding, and then Hedges, Cantwell and Cargbo behind Ohashi in attack. For Birmingham, it's now Allsop in goal, Laird, Clara, Neumann and Cochrane, Peck and Iwata, and then Anderson, Gray and Stansfield behind Kyogo in attack. So a lot of players from the Far East out there involved today, either Japanese or South Korean. And it's the young Englishman Damari Gray, well, not so young now, he's caught late by Tavares, and he's writhing around early in this second half, having been caught. He's not happy, but the referee saw nothing wrong with it, Oliver Langford, and we do play on.
Yeah, I did think that was a foul, and I sympathise here with Birmingham. Chris Davis is having strong words with the assistant there. It's right under his nose. They didn't make that call, and of course, moments later they blew up for a foul from Birmingham. So let's hope Damari Gray's okay. I think he's been encouraged to get to his feet.
Yeah, he's not going to need any treatment.
No, he'll be fine.
And it will end up being a uncontested drop ball, as we have so often nowadays, where you have to make sure that you are standing a fair way from the ball so you don't get involved. In fact, it's a free kick that's been awarded to Blackburn, and Sean McLaughlin belts it down the right-hand side looking for the head of Alabiosu, but Keshi Anderson back defending, got it half clear, but Blackburn have it back, and Alabiosu trying to hustle down the right-hand side, but he's pushed over Keshi Anderson, and that gives Birmingham City an early free kick in this second half. So Blackburn in their blue and white halves and the white shorts and the blue socks, they're going to be heading from right to left as we look, as we sit high up at the back of the Jack Walker stand. So the Blackburn players heading for the Blackburn end, as they always love to do in the second half, and that means Birmingham City in their change strip of all red are heading for the Darwin end, where the 7,000 Birmingham fans are situated.
They've got it wrong here, you know. He's gone left back led, and it's Cochrane that's off.
That's right, yes, Cochrane did indeed go off. That's correct.
Yeah, so
there must be a slight injury worry for Cochrane.
I'd imagine so, because, you know, he started the game very well, didn't he? He had a shot across that was decent. So basically, the only two efforts that they've produced so far came via Cochrane. So you would be surprised if he was taken off for tactical reasons.
So Cochrane has had to make way. And Lee Buchanan is still out, the Birmingham City left back in the squad. So potential problem there for Chris Davies if Cochrane has to be out for any period of time, that he doesn't have a specialist who can play in that position as a left-footed defender. Ball clipped forward onto the chest of Ethan Laird, who's lost out. Here come Blackburn. It's Hedges, left-hand side, approaching the left-hand corner of the area. Clips the ball into the box. Brought down by Cargbo. Makes half a yard for himself. Under pressure from Laird, who's got a toe in. And it's a corner kick to Blackburn. At the Blackburn end away to our left. A vital toe end in there from the substitute freshly on the field, because Cargbo was looking dangerous for Blackburn.
Oh, he had to get that right. Ethan Laird. Cargbo, he's small, he's diminutive, but he's quick over 2 or 3 yards, and he goes past him there, and you think, oh, any kind of contact here, and it's a penalty kick. He times the tackle to perfection.
So, corner kick for Todd Cantwell to take where the Blackburn end meets the Riverside stand. Right-footed outswinger, chipped to the far post. Up goes Ahashi, headed away by Laird. Ribeiro lobs it back into the danger area. Headed up in the air by Tronstadt. Kyogo trying to get rid of it. Might drop for Hyam. Tried to guide it down for Hedges on the volley. Cantwell on the volley. What a goal! Blackburn take the lead. And the captain leads by example. Back in the Blackburn side. And he volleyed it home expertly from the right-hand side of the penalty area. And after a drab first half, it's a moment of real quality that puts Blackburn ahead at Ewood Park. Todd Cantwell makes it Blackburn 1, Birmingham City 0.
What a hit that is. He cannot strike it any cleaner than that. That is technically brilliant from Todd Cantwell. Blackburn have offered next to nothing in this game, but that is a moment of inspiration. It comes from nowhere. It just lands on his right foot, and he thinks, I'm just going to willy this, and he fizzes it into the bottom corner on the volley. Magnificent.
It was a header out from a Birmingham defender that dropped for Todd Cantwell, right-hand side of the area. And boy, oh boy, he actually hit it through the legs of Augustus Cargbo, and it buried it in the bottom corner. Sweet, sweet hit from Todd Cantwell, captain today. Had a thigh strain in pre-season, so he was only given a few minutes on Tuesday night against Bradford. Back in the starting lineup today, and that is how you give your side the lead.
Yeah, well, it was worth the ticket price on its own, wasn't it? That was top notch. That's Premier League class from Todd Cantwell.
5 minutes gone in the second half then on Talksport 2, and the deadlock broken. Blackburn 1, Birmingham City 0, but Birmingham have won a free kick after Asai Samuel was clipped on this near side, the right. So the free kick is Birmingham's 10 yards from the dead ball line, but right on this near touch line in front of the Jack Walker stand.
Yeah, can they respond quickly? Birmingham City are not used to being behind, are they?
No, they're not. So Gray will have the free kick, right-hand side. It's more like 14, 15 yards from the dead ball line, but it is tight to this near touch line. Clara and Kyogo standing in an offside position at the moment. Blackburn trying to hold their line about 8 yards from goal in their line of blue and white halves. Gray comes up to the ball now, addresses it into the near post, comfortably headed clear by Ali Biosu, the first defender. So Gray has it back, will clip it back across the 18-yard line. Good header clear this time, and Carbo was on his bike and ran into Pek Sung Ho, who got the foot in, went out of play for a throw into Blackburn. We've played 7 minutes of the second half on Talksport 2, and Ewood Park, certainly the Blackburn end, much louder now as Blackburn lead by a goal to 0.
Oh, we needed that goal, and it's good for the game. I would expect a reaction here from Chris Davies' Birmingham City. These 7,000 away fans haven't come all this way to watch their side produce a tepid performance. They've got to respond.
Well, we mentioned the terrific record that Blackburn Rovers have got against their opponents at this ground. 2 wins in 38 matches, Adrian mentioned in the first half. That
it's a bogey
Birmingham
ground.
have managed.
Yeah.
And they're 1-0 down here on their first away game back at Championship level. Neumann, just shy of the halfway line, works it backwards a square for Clara. Laird in that left-back position, gives it back to his captain, and once again Laird has it. Clips it up to Anderson on halfway, infield for Peck, but he knew he had players around him, tried to guide it back for Laird, but just passed it straight out of play, and the locals are loving that. 1-0.
It's poor, isn't it? Yeah, little triangles. Those little triangles were coming off in the first half, but they're a touch rattled, I think, here. Birmingham City. Peck started very well in this game, but that was loose.
Throw in for Blackburn down the right-hand side. Olabiosu trying to combine with Cargbo. He's done well, Cargbo, to win another throw a bit further downfield, just past the halfway point of the Birmingham City half on the Riverside stand side. Olabiosu again looking for Cargbo. Takes it on his thigh, but that allows Anderson to get a piece of it. Tronstadt wins it back for Blackburn. Cantwell, the goal scorer, guides the ball back to McLaughlin just ahead of the centre circle. 19,552 inside Ewood Park. And 12,000 of them are very, very happy at the moment. Throw into Birmingham City, just shy of the halfway line. We've played 9 minutes of the second half. 1-0 to Blackburn Rovers. Elsewhere, Newport have equalised at Grimsby 1-1. And there's very little else happening. Middlesbrough lead at Millwall. Hayden Hackney. Oh, blimey. Rob Edwards needs that. And Stoke are 2-0 up at Sheffield Wednesday. Divine Mubama scores again. Scored for Stoke last weekend. And Bradford City 2-0 up on Luton. Bobby Poynton. Barnsley 1-0 up on Bolton Wanderers. David McGoldrick scoring goals again at lower league level, having moved from Notts County. And it was 2-1 to Watford against QPR. Bang on half-time, QPR did get a goal back. You're up to date. No further goals in the Premier League either, with just that one goal in the first half to Tottenham against Burnley. And Dominic Hyam strongly in to keep the ball away from Jay Stansfield as the ball was thumped downfield. The ball's back with Ryan Alsop, who bowls it out to Christoph Clara. 1-0 Blackburn.
Yeah, and look, the issue is that Blackburn's strength is defensively, isn't it? They don't score a lot of goals, so they've got something to cling on to here. They're going to have to go through the gears, Birmingham, to get anything today.
Well, Hyam has to get the ball back swiftly to his goalkeeper, Tot under pressure from both Stansfield and Gray. Good clearance by the Hungarian goalkeeper. And downfield it goes, but it drops in the centre circle for Iwata. Early ball looking for Stansfield. Will it stay in play? It's going to drift away from Jay Stansfield and out for a goal kick. As Cambridge are pegged back by Harrogate Town at the Abbey in League 2. Cambridge 1, Harrogate 1. Stephen Duke McKenna with the equaliser for the Railwaymen. Blackburn going to take their time over getting the ball back into play. 10 minutes gone in the second half. They lead by a goal to 0, and it is all Blackburn. You can hear the Birmingham fans trying to, well, they're starting their club anthem, but Blackburn are singing just as loud and proud away to our left and around us here in the Jack Walker stand.
Yeah, it's a 12,000, 7,000 split, isn't it, inside the stadium today? But they've been quiet, Birmingham fans. Yeah, at the moment they're singing, but I haven't had much to cheer about, that's for sure.
Cleared away by Tot. Downfield, Laird kind of barges into Carbo, but it's not a foul, says the referee. Anderson now trying to take it beyond his man. Good skill. Keshi Anderson gets away from Alibiosu for a moment. Now he gets back at him. Anderson then loses out to Alibiosu, and Tronstadt brings it further clear for Blackburn Rovers. Clipped in field for Cantwell. Cantwell, though, loses out to Stansfield. Stansfield drifting out to the left-hand side. Drifts past Cantwell. Still got it, Jay Stansfield. Needs support. Got 3 players around him, and he can't get past the third of them in Dominic Hyam, but he has conceded a corner there, Dominic Hyam, against Jay Stansfield, who worked incredibly hard there for the visitors. 1-0 Rovers.
Oh, it's magnificent, isn't it, from Jay Stansfield? That's how to lift the away end right in front of them. He has worked his socks off there to somehow get a corner for his side. It was all on his own, Jay Stansfield. Well played.
Doncaster 1, Wickham 0. Billy Sharp, the old stager, puts Donny ahead. after that brilliant win in the week against Middlesbrough in the Cup. Cardiff 2-0 up on Rotherham. Young Kean Ashford with the second for the Bluebirds. Birmingham's corner, whipped into the near post by Gray, headed up in the air by Laird and went over the bar. It came off Laird last of all. To goal kick to Blackburn Rovers. Chris Davies stands, arms folded at the edge of his technical area down beneath us. Valerian Ismail just gesticulating a bit away to our left-hand side, but he'll be happy that his side have hit the front. Can they stay there?
Yeah, they're taking their time over this. Goal kick. Obviously, it's not in the goalkeeper's hands. There's none of this 8-second rule. But yeah, the Birmingham fans want Todd to get on with this.
But it's a poor clearance from Todd in the end. Went straight out of play for a throw to Birmingham City on halfway. Leyton Orient 1, Stockport 2. Aaron Connolly gets one back for the O's at Brisbane Road. Laird forced to go back to his keeper, really fired it into the feet of Ryan Alsop, but he controlled it well. Drills the ball downfield, looking for Kyogo, comfortably headed away by Hine, but that's a poor touch from Sidney Tavares, and that allows Damari Gray to bring the ball away, but he's conceded a throw to Ryan Hedges on this near side, and so any thoughts of a Birmingham counter-attack swiftly come to nothing. 1-0 Blackburn Rovers, and we're approaching the hour mark here on Talksport 2. Here's Adrian Clark.
Yeah, they've got themselves into a good position, haven't they? Blackburn Rovers. Just thinking about it, was a moment of absolute brilliance from Todd Cantwell. He just chanced his arm, hit it one touch with that right foot, and it was a peach of a volley. I was just thinking about Tavares there. I think he struggled a bit in central midfield for Blackburn Rovers. Wouldn't be surprised if they change that soon.
Ethan Laird coming forward at pace into the edge of the area for Birmingham. Goes down, wanting a free kick. Nothing doing, said the referee. The ball was won back. Sunderland lead West Ham in the Premier League. Elisa Mayenda gets Sunderland's first goal back in the Premier League. Blackburn trying to counter, but a ball from the right-hand side from Carpos. Overhit, intended for a Hashi. MK Dons 4. Cheltenham 0. Rushin Hepburn Murphy with the fourth for the Dons, and Lincoln City double their lead against Plymouth Argyle through James Collins, and Richarlison has a second for Tottenham against Burnley. That's 2-0 to Spurs. So one promoted side ahead, another one behind. The other promoted side, Leeds, are at home to Everton on Monday night. That's live on Talksport at 8 p.m. Monday night game night returning for this Premier League season. Blackburn Rovers 1, Birmingham City 0. An hour gone now in Lancashire. Todd Cantwell with the goal 5 minutes into the second half. Here's Pek Sung-ho, manages to guide the ball through to Stansfield, turns and runs at the Blackburn defence again. It comes off the foot of Alabiosu and out for a throw left-hand side that Stansfield wants to take quickly and does. For Keshi Anderson, 3 to hit in the area with a cross. In it comes from Anderson, way over hit. Beyond all three by quite some distance, and bobbles behind for a Blackburn Rovers goal kick. 1-0 to the hosts, Adrian
It's a
Clark.
shocking cross, it really is, from Keshi Anderson. Chris Davis has barely moved all game, hands in pockets, he's impassive, he's just watching, he's looking at the body language of his players. I think he should turn to his bench pretty soon. They need a bit of a G up here, Birmingham City. They're sort of meandering their way to a limp 1-0 defeat here. Something has to change, doesn't it?
Headed down by McLaughlin to find Tavares, who did well to protect the ball from Iwata. Hyam sends the ball long downfield for Blackburn, but Laird heads it up to Peck, knocks it down for Iwata, fires it out to Stansfield, left wing for Birmingham City. Red shirts coming forward for the visitors. Stansfield comes in field, doesn't put the cross in because he spots that Peck is free left-hand corner of the area, checks onto his right, thinks about a cross, rolls it back for Iwata. Iwata goes for goal with a daisy cutter, but it's well dealt with again by Balazs Tot. Down to his right and a very comfortable save in the end. 1-0 Rovers.
It's a decent enough strike, isn't it, from Iwata, who hasn't been the dominant figure I expected him to be today. Yeah, it's a little fizzer, but the goalkeeper really was never threatened, I don't think.
Shrewsbury 0, Colchester 1. Dreadful start to the season for the Shrews, and Samson Tavida has put the U's ahead at the Greenhouse Meadow. 62 gone. Blackburn 1, Birmingham City 0. Blackburn have the ball, and Dominic Hyam completely dumps Jay Stansfield on the seat of his pants with a little Cruyff turn.
It was good, actually. But at least Stansfield's running around. He's providing a bit of tempo.
Birmingham win it back. Keshi Anderson down the left-hand side. Kyogo's got into the area again. The cross from Anderson's overhit, but Todd elects to punch. He could have left that. He could have just drifted out this near side for a throw. Blackburn do well, though, to get it clear. Lovely hump downfield from Yuri Ribeiro. Ohashi just shows enough strength to hold off an opponent. And now away down the left-hand side comes Ryan Hedges in acres of space. 2 to hit in the area, goes to the far post. Cogbo nods it down, and it's just the wrong side of the post. He hung in the air for ages trying to get that goal bound. It was so close. But it ends up being merely a goal kick to Birmingham City. But that was a great break from Ryan Hedges and Blackburn Rovers, 1-0.
Oh, that was outstanding, wasn't it? What a run. Powering down the left-hand side. He just hung it up towards the far post. And Cogbo's not the biggest, but he sort of leaps and he hangs in the air. And it's a decent effort, really. I mean, he gets it almost right. It almost drops into that far corner. In the end, it's agonisingly just wide of the post. He goes across the keeper. And, yeah, almost doubled their lead, Blackburn on the break.
1-0 it stays to Blackburn Rovers. 63.5 minutes gone on Talksport 2. Cardiff 3-0 up on Rotherham. Ruben Colwill scores again for the Bluebirds. As the ball's run out of play, Blackburn again were really hunting in packs to win the ball back in Birmingham's defensive third there. But it ends up being a throw to the side from Birmingham. Laird at left back, remember, in this second half. Cochrane going off at half time. Little 1-2 between Anderson and Peck. Now Gray in the centre circle. Was clipped by Hedges, so Birmingham have a free kick. Tranmere take the lead against Gillingham in League 2. Amari Patrick makes it Tranmere 1, Gillingham 0. And the free kick's taken quickly by Iwata to find Laird to his left, just inside the Blackburn half of the field. Peck looks out left for Stansfield, again hugging that left-hand touchline, trying to get the better of Alabiosu. Good tenacious work again by Stansfield, but again, good comeback from Alabiosu, puts it behind for a corner, but Stansfield wants a free kick, claiming that Alabiosu was all over him, but Oliver Langford has just given a corner kick and wants a word with Jay Stansfield. He's just keeping his calm.
Yeah, he's like a bit of a head loss there from Jay Stansfield, but at least he's showing some passion here, Dance. You know, that's what the Blues fans want to see. Packed into the Darwen end to our right.
And now Todd Cantwell's getting involved, and Jay Stansfield's telling him to go away, whilst Stansfield's being spoken to by the referee.
Yeah, he's a captain, isn't he, Cantwell, today? So I suppose he's got the right to go over and have a word. But look, I'm liking what I'm seeing from Stansford. He's almost single-handedly G'd up this Birmingham side, and I think the last 5 minutes they've had much more punch about them. Keshi Anderson's all of a sudden in the game.
Here's Damari Gray with the corner then at the Darwen end for Birmingham City. Kyogo makes a run to the near post. It goes into the near post. It's punched away by the keeper. Where's that going to drop? Cantwell loses out to Iwata. Now Anderson, right wing, checks on to his left foot. Lovely ball in, brilliantly headed clear. The defending was fantastic from Blackburn Rovers, but it'll come out to Anderson again on this right-hand side. Once again, checks onto his left. Once again, the cross comes in. Ethan Laird tries to sort out his feet, but it allows Tronstadt to bring the ball clear, but he only finds the head of Keshi Anderson, who nods it in field. Neumann nods it down for Peck, who hooks the ball over his head and keeps it away from Cantwell.
Beautiful.
Iwata finds Anderson right-hand side, again thinking about a left-footed cross to swing into the area. Faced up by Hedges, comes in field, then clicks the ball across to Damari Gray, left-hand side, approaching the left-hand corner of the box. Goes for goal and just wide. He tried to wrap his foot round it. Laird was on the overlap down the left-hand side, used as a decoy, but Damari Gray couldn't wrap his foot round it enough, and it's a goal kick to Blackburn Rovers as we approach the midway point of the second half on Talksport 2. Your home of the EFL. Blackburn Rovers 1-0 up through that exquisite Todd Cantwell strike. Here's Adrian Clark.
Birmingham are back in it now. It feels that way anyway. That was good play. Beautiful switch pass from Anderson to Gray, and Gray cuts inside really well, but the shot is a little bit wild. He slices it way wide in the end, but there's a better tempo, there's more aggression, there's more urgency about the visitors now, and it's high time, really. They know that clock is ticking fast, and This would be a really poor result for Birmingham City, I think.
1-0 to Rovers here. Tottenham Hotspur 3, Burnley 0. Brennan Johnson with the third for Tottenham. And Preston 1, Leicester 1. Jeremy Monga, the young 16-year-old, scores for Leicester. Made his first start in the week. Became Leicester's youngest ever starter at Huddersfield. Now he's probably their youngest ever scorer. I don't know.
Must be.
I
mean, is he still at school? I think he just left school. You know, he's incredibly young. Yeah, what a prospect.
1-1 at Deepdale. 1-0 here to Blackburn Rovers. Birmingham City trying to come forward, but they're passing and moving the one-touch football around the area is easily cut out by Blackburn. But then Cantwell has 3 red shirts around him and loses out. Gray goes down and a free kick's given for a foul at his back, I think, by Yuri Ribeiro. And Birmingham have a free kick. They will try and swing into the area from level with the 18-yard line on this right-hand side. Again, only a couple of yards in from the touchline. They've had a free kick in this position before and nothing's come from it. And you can hear the PA announcer announcing a change, and Lewis Miller, arrived from Hibernian, is coming on to replace Ryan Hedges in this second half for Blackburn Rovers. Lewis Miller, one of the summer captures for Valerian Ismail, and that's a defensive change. That's a full-back come centre-half for a left-sided midfielder.
Yeah, definitely. Maybe there's a change of shape coming for Blackburn Rovers. Look, the pattern of the game has changed. It is all Birmingham now, and I think that Valerian Ismail has responded to that with that substitution.
Just over 20 minutes to go. Rovers lead by a goal to 0, but Birmingham have a free kick. Almost level with the 18-yard line. On the right-hand side, just in from the touchline. Damari Gray standing over it. Cantwell, the one-man wall, 10 yards in front of him. Gray, right-footed, swings it deep to the far post, again beyond everybody, and there was a push by Christoph Clara on Lewis Miller, freshly on as a substitute, so that ends up being a free kick for Blackburn Rovers. So it's Valerian Ismail who's blinked first in terms of substitutions during the second half. What does Chris Davies do?
Yeah, look, I suppose, even though it's a good bench, not that many attacking options. Williamson, obviously, is an attacking midfielder / winger. Lyndon Dykes will offer something different up front. I don't think Kyogo's had a good game today. Really on the edge of things. Stansfield absolutely outshone him. Maybe Dykes. Tommy Doyle as well is an option, just to sort of rattle a few cages in central midfield. Had a bit of quality as well.
Stansfield brings it down on halfway, tries to go for the return from Laird, but it's rolled back to Tott, who clears out of play. Birmingham will have a throw. Reading 0, AFC Wimbledon 2. Marcus Brown with the second for the Dons. Swansea 1, Sheffield United 0. Not going well for Ruben Selles so far, and Swansea lead through Ronald at the Swansea.com stadium.
Yeah, a really rough start.
Don't forget EFL All Access from 6 o'clock on Monday night, with Hugh Wozencroft dissecting all of the weekend talking points from Championship, League 1 and League 2. You can find it as a podcast as well. EFL All Access. Ball forward, looking for Kyogo. It was Iwata tried to find him with a ball in field from the right. It nearly snaked its way through to Kyogo. Blackburn get it clear. Asai Samuel being pressurised by 2 or 3 Blackburn players, but Birmingham do enough to get it back to their goalkeeper, Ryan Alsop. Ethan Laird at left back brings the ball up to the halfway line. Anderson making a run ahead of him, but it's played infield instead to Peck. Peck with an early ball looking for the run of Kyogo, brings it down left hand side of the area, fires it across the box, did the right thing, but nobody had anticipated him winning that ball and had made the run. Half cleared by Blackburn. Asai Samuel keeps it in play just on this near side, but at the expense of giving it back to the hosts. But the clearance from Tavares finds Carbo, who was fouled by Neumann. Free kick to Blackburn Rovers, and that will just kill a few seconds with 71.5 minutes played. It's 1-0 to Rovers.
Yeah, they're going to milk those kind of incidents. I felt a little bit sorry for Neumann there, just trying to nip in front of his man and take the ball, and I didn't see an obvious foul, but Carbo hit the deck, and of course the referee sort of buys that. I do think Birmingham aren't far away from making a change here. Huddleston having a chat to Davis. I think there's certainly a tactical shift being talked about, isn't there? If not necessarily personnel shift.
Long ball downfield for Blackburn, but it's going to drift out of play for a goal kick. Goals elsewhere. Doncaster 1, Wickham 1. Junior Quaterna equalises for Wickham in South Yorkshire. Sunderland 2, West Ham 0. What a return to the Premier League for the Black Cats. And Dan Ballard, who got that vital goal in the semi-final of the playoffs, scores the second. Sheffield Wednesday 0, Stoke 3. Millian Manhoof with his second and Stoke's third at Hillsborough. And Bromley 2, Fleetwood 1 in League 2. Here's Cantwell, the goal scorer for Blackburn Rovers, at the dead ball line, right-hand side, faced up by Laird. 1-0 to Rovers if you're just tuning into EFL Game Day live on Talksport 2. Alabiosu making tracks down the right-hand side. He's got beyond his man, pulls it back from the dead ball line. Ohashi turns and shoots straight at Clara. Comes out to Miller, knees it back into the area, looking for Ohashi, but it drifts out of play before he can get anywhere near it. And Birmingham get a goal kick. 1-0 to Blackburn Rovers.
Would have been an unorthodox assist, wouldn't it, from Miller? He used his thigh just to sort of loft it over the top there. Very unusual. But yeah, he's definitely come on right side centre half. Or right back, really, for them.
Breaking news for you. Nottingham Forest have announced the signing of Amari Hutchinson from Ipswich Town on a 5-year contract. And Kieran McKenna was trying to be quite euphemistic about Amari Hutchinson's place. So we have empathy with him, but now have departure. Yeah. And Amari Hutchinson is now a Forest player.
Yeah, I think he did do enough last year in the Premier League to convince, obviously, Forest and others that he's a top-flight player. A lot of money, good fee for Ipswich. Ipswich need to spend some now, I think.
Well, they've already brought in Chuba Akpom. He may play against Southampton tomorrow, live on Talksport 2 at noon, between the two relegated sides. Here's Blackburn Rovers 1-0 up on Birmingham City with 74 minutes played. Iwata for Birmingham, almost at the centre of the Blackburn half. Rolls it back to Neumann. He clips it out to the left-hand side, looking for Laird. Good strong header cleared by Alabiosu. But Birmingham win it back again. Iwata just to the left of the centre circle. Had it confirmed that Jeremy Monga is indeed Leicester City's youngest ever goal scorer. Dave Buchanan held that record from 1979 until today, because it's 1-1 at Deepdale.
Yeah, congratulations to him. Come through the academy. A lot of young players on the sort of edge of that first team at Leicester City at the moment that have been there.
Jake Evans, who's in there. There was one or two that.
Louis Page is close.
Louis Page, I saw come on at Huddersfield on Wednesday night, should I say?
Yeah, no, I think the academy are really quite proud of the players that are coming through, and they'll get more of a chance because of the situation at Leicester right now.
Blackburn Rovers 1, Birmingham City 0. Quarter of an hour to go on Talksport 2. Alabiosu giving chase, but he was beaten to it by a strong challenge from Ethan Laird. Referee says play on. And Birmingham City come forward with Keshi Anderson. Alabiosu's down in a heap inside the Birmingham half of the field. Anderson twisting, turning, gets to the left-hand corner of the area, finds Pek Seung-ho, leaves it for Stansfield, runs away from a challenge inside the D. Can he get the shot away? He can, but it's blocked brilliantly by McLaughlin. Alabiosu still down, headed away by the Blackburn backline, and Carbo giving chase to get it clear. Good strong run from Augustus Carbo, who's taken out by Tomoki Iwata. That's going to be a yellow card for the Birmingham City midfielder for the professional foul to stop Carbo getting round him as he moved inside the Birmingham half. 1-0 Rovers, and they have a free kick.
Yeah, he's worked so hard, Carbo, hasn't he? He's been bright, you have to say. Even though it was a fairly nondescript first half, there were one or two moments from him, but since half-time, Carbo has been heavily involved. Mainly on the right, on this occasion from the left. They've gone to a back five, by the way. It's definitely a change of shape for them.
There's a break in play here whilst Alabiosu, who went down with that 50-50 shoulder charge with Ethan Laird, going for a bouncing ball, needing some treatment. He's lying on his right-hand side at the moment, so players coming over to take on some fluids and take on some instruction. A reminder, we've got some Super League coming up straight after this commentary. Hull FC against Lee Leopards. Chris Price and Paul Cook, former Man of Steel, will be your commentary team for a bit of Super League before we then take you to Riyadh in Saudi Arabia for Fight Night that starts at 7:30 here on Talksport 2. Switches to Talksport at 9, our coverage with Moses Itauma against Dillian White topping the bill. As I mentioned, Ipswich Southampton is our Sunday lunchtime offering on Talksport 2 from the Championship. Our coverage will start at 11:45, and then Monday night game night in the Premier League, Leeds United against Everton from Ellen Road.
Some good games there. Oh, there'll be some atmosphere at Ellen Road.
Well, I've rarely been in a louder stadium.
Yeah.
Particularly, you know, on those nights when they're under the floodlights, it seems to be louder still half the time. Yeah. Very impressive place to go and take in a game of football.
Yeah.
But can they do better this time around in the Premier League, with Daniel Farke having signed a lot of big, physical, strong players this summer in the window? Spent a fair degree of money beefing up the squad. Let's see what it does for them against David Moyes and Everton on Monday night game night. That's live on Talk Sports. Alabiosu is still down. Must have been really clattered by Ethan Laird in that challenge.
I think he might have to come off here. It's a really lengthy stoppage, this, isn't it?
It is. We have 78 minutes gone, so 12 minutes to go, and Scott Wharton is going to come on now. This is a great story. He had over 400 days out with a knee injury, Scott Wharton, but he came back on Tuesday night and played the full 90 against Bradford City in the Carabao Cup. His younger brother, let's not forget, left for Crystal Palace. Blackburn got good money for him with that sale, but Scott stuck behind, and he's going to be on sooner rather than later. Alabiosu is still flat on his back inside.
It's a worry, isn't it?
Half of the field. He's clearly conscious. By the way, Jeremy Monga, not just the youngest ever Leicester goal scorer, youngest ever in the history of the Championship, beating the previous record held by
Milner?
Jude Bellingham.
Of course, yeah.
When he scored against Stoke City for Birmingham City, but Jeremy Monga, in equalising for Leicester against Ipswich, now has that record to himself. MK Dons 5, Cheltenham 0. Aaron Nemain with a 5th for MK Dons. Lincoln City 3, Plymouth Argyle 1. A comeback might be on the cards for the Pilgrims. Owen Asani with a goal back for them. But a reminder that in the Premier League this afternoon, Sunderland 2-0 up, Tottenham 3-0 up, and Brighton are 1-0 up. Matt O'Reilly with a penalty against Fulham. Earlier today on Talksport, it finished goalless between Aston Villa and Newcastle. Wolves, Man City as a 5:30 kickoff. Regular updates in the game day phone-in over on Talksport with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy on that game at Molineux. In the Championship earlier today, a 5-3 win for Coventry at Derby, a 2-1 win for Norwich at Portsmouth, and live on Talksport 2 you heard a 3-2 win for West Brom at Wrexham. The stretcher is out for Ryan Alabiosu, and it doesn't look good. The St John's ambulance are there as well, attending the scene. It does look a very serious injury for Alabiosu to have to contend with here. Although the stretcher's now been taken away, but he's clearly going to have to come off. Meantime, Lyndon Dykes has come on for Bright Asai Samuel, and Tommy Doyle is coming on for Keshi Anderson in a double change for Birmingham City. What do you make of that?
Yeah, well, they had to change something. They really did. So yeah, I think Keshi Anderson sort of limped off a little bit. He walked off gingerly. Yeah, look, Doyle has got quality. We know that. And Dykes, yeah, I think if you're chasing a goal, bring on a striker, and Dykes will look to rough up this strong Blackburn defence. Obviously have now 3 centre-halves, so he's just going to match it up, isn't he? 3-on-3.
Well, Alabiosu is now being taken off on a stretcher. Hands over his face. He's clearly in some distress, and we wish him well, and we hope that he recovers quickly, Ryan Alabiosu. So with him coming off, that does allow Scott Wharton to come on in his place.
Well, he played great as well, didn't he, Alabiosu? I think he was certainly one of the best performers on the pitch.
Yeah,
I thought he defended really well.
So 81 minutes have gone, but there's going to be a fair old chunk of added time to come here at Ewood Park on Talksport 2, where Blackburn lead by a goal to nil, and they have a free kick as play restarts. They play it deep into the Birmingham box. Players forward, it's nodded across the face of goal and turned behind onto the roof of the net by Lyndon Dykes, who's just come onto the field, because there were two Blackburn players. One of them was Sean McLaughlin, the other was Dominic Hyam, and Lewis Miller, who'd made a great run into the box to try and get on the end of that, but it just couldn't find a teammate with the header back across goal. 1-0 Rovers.
It was an awesome diagonal, wasn't it, from Cantwell? He's such a good technician, strikes the ball so cleanly. We saw that for the goal, and that was a great pick out. The marking from Birmingham was absolutely dreadful. McLaughlin, I think it was, that nodded it back across the face of goal.
Cantwell with the corner, right-footed out swinger, up go the heads, and it's headed over the top by Wharton, having just come on. Lincoln 3, Plymouth 2. Maybe it is a comeback on for Plymouth. Xavier Amici making it 3-2. Stevenage 2-0 up on Northampton. Ghassan Ahadmi with a second for Stevenage. St Mirren 1, Hearts 1 in Scotland. And 1-0 here to Blackburn Rovers against Birmingham City. Here's Tomoki Iwata for the Vistas. Brings the ball up to halfway, plays it left for Pek Seung-ho. Out on the left-hand side is Laird, level with the 18-yard line. Puts the ball into the area. Dykes tried to get there, headed away brilliantly at the back by McLaughlin. Superb defensive header again by the former Hull City man.
He's had a good game. He's had a very good game, McLaughlin. That ball in was excellent from the left-hand side. Had a lot of whip on it, lots of pace.
So throw in for Birmingham left-hand side. Luton get one back against Bradford. Bradford 2, Luton 1 in League One. Gideon Kadua gets one back for the Hatters. 1-0 to Blackburn Rovers here. And a little flick in field from Lyndon Dykes just rolls through to the goalkeeper. And there's 2 balls on the pitch for the moment. So the referee is going to hold it and give it back to him. Preston lead against Leicester City once again. Preston 2, Leicester City 1. It's Milutin Osmajic who's got it. It's 2 goals in 2 championship games for him. He scored at Norwich, scored at QPR, I beg your pardon, the other week. And Paul Heckingbottom's got very limited options for strikers. He'll be very happy that Osmajic has hit the ground running this season. Tommy Doyle for Birmingham City plays an early ball over halfway, looking for the run of Dykes. Across comes Wharton, hits it against Dykes, and it will drift out of play for a throw to Blackburn in their own defensive third. Bolton equalise at Barnsley late on. That's John McAtee making it Barnsley 1, Bolton 1. 85 minutes gone at Ewood Park. Rovers 5 minutes plus stoppage time away from getting their first win of the season and keeping their fantastic record up against Birmingham City.
Yeah, they look good. The value for it at the moment. Birmingham just haven't done enough in this game. They need to find one final push here just to try and salvage something.
It's all very congested just inside the Blackburn half, but Birmingham City come away with it. Laird in the centre circle. Just holds it up for a moment. Plays it back to Clara. Double change, triple change coming up for Blackburn Rovers. Maktar Gay, Axel Henriksen and Dion Deneva are going to be on very shortly for Rovers. Ball's out of play for a Birmingham throw. And that change can now be made, or the triple change, should I say. First player to come off is the hard-working Augustus Cargbo. He will make way for Axel Henriksen. And a good shift on a good start for Augustus Cargbo, you would say, Adrian
I
Clark.
think so. Yeah, he's been bright in patches. He's certainly got a bit of pace, and they need a bit of speed, don't they, Blackburn Rovers? They're not the most athletic side, but he's been really bright. He's been involved in some of Blackburn's better passages of play. His number's gone up, but he's refusing to look at it. They're going to take an absolute age over this triple change. I'm sure they are, Blackburn.
Well, he's now going off Ohashi on the far side of the field to allow Gay to come on. Dion Deneva is the other player that's being introduced, and he's going to come on for Todd Cantwell. He was also limping over. He got caught a moment or so ago, so he's gone off as well. The goal scorer, will he prove to be the winning goal scorer? He's gone off to allow Deneva to come on.
Number 14, Leon Denis. Number 18, Axel Henriksen. And number 9, Maktar Gay.
So the substitutions have been made.
Yeah, he's strolling off Cargbo here. It's a good ovation. Well, they're all getting a good ovation, aren't they? It's a couple of players walking around behind the goal.
Yeah, and finally Gay, or rather Cargbo, allows Henriksen to come off, and Birmingham are going to make a change as well. Neumann is coming off to allow Willemsen to come onto the pitch. So changes all over the shop in these last few minutes. And Birmingham make that change to take off Neumann and bring on the attacking midfielder from Iceland, Willem Willemsen.
Yeah.
And he goes into the penalty area for what will be a long throw coming in from Ethan Laird for the visitors. We've got 2 minutes of normal time to go. Blackburn holding on here. Can they repel and get 3 points for the first time this season? Long throw from Laird, looking for Clara. Can only head it back from whence it came. Laird's onto it, but Deneva straight at him. But good turn from Ethan Laird. Gets away from him into the area. Goes down. Referee's given a penalty. Birmingham City have a penalty. Claims that from Blackburn players that he fell under minimal pressure. But the referee has given the penalty. And Ethan Laird went down, and Birmingham do have a chance to salvage a point here.
Well, it's sensational skill from Ethan Laird over on that left wing. He wriggles his way past his man, gets to the byline, and then rather than playing the ball across the face of goal, he carries it into the box.
It was Tavares that brought him down, I think.
Yeah, and then there's contact. There are complaints that it's a harsh one. We can't see from here, but that is outstanding from Ethan Laird.
And so Jay Stansfield, who scored against Ipswich on the opening night of the Championship, scored against Sheffield United in the Carabao Cup. He is going to take the responsibility from 12 yards, takes 5 or 6 paces back from the ball. Stansfield against Tott, right-footed. Stansfield scores in the bottom corner. Birmingham City are level late on with 30 seconds of normal time to play, and it's that man again, Jay Stansfield, to the rescue, it seems, for Chris Davis's side. 1-1 with a fair chunk of added time to play.
Never in doubt, was it? The moment it left his right boot, that was heading low and hard into the bottom corner, and they have themselves a lifeline. And interestingly, they don't mess around with the celebrations. Birmingham City, they're happy with the point, but they want 3.
Well, we've got 11 minutes of added time. 11 minutes, and Birmingham City want to make another change. They want to bring on loan defender Aaron Cashin into the fray before play can restart. Although I think they're going to let that wait for the time being.
Well, they had taken off, hadn't they, Neumann for Dyke, so...
Well, the 7,000 Birmingham fans back in full voice again on that far right-hand side of the field from us. They may well have nicked a point. Bromley 2, Fleetwood 2. Fleetwood may have nicked a point with James Norwood, the veteran striker. Sunderland 3, West Ham 0. What a day for Sunderland. Wilson Isidore with the third.
Wow, yeah, brilliant.
Barrow 1, Notts County 1. Middlesbrough look like they've won at Millwall. Alfie Jones has made it 2-0 to the Borough down at the Den. Shrewsbury 0, Colchester 2. Kyrese Lisby, son of Kevin, getting the goal. Reading 1, Wimbledon 2. Lewis Wing gets 1 back, may not be enough, but it's 1-1 here, and we're into the second minute of 11 that have been added on, so there's plenty of time for both sides to win it here. Cashin still waits, and he will now be brought on for Kyogo Furuhashi to take Birmingham City back to a back 4.
Yeah, it's a pragmatic move. Makes sense. He'll take the point. It doesn't mean Birmingham are going to stop attacking here, but why risk it with only one centre-half on the pitch?
So Kyogo off, Cashin on, and Cashin's first job is to defend a long throw that Blackburn are going to send into the Birmingham City penalty area at the Blackburn end. In it comes from Miller. Good distance on it as well, but Clara first to it to head it clear. Gray helps it on out of the penalty box. Stansfield won't get hold of it. It'll drop instead for Scott Wharton. Clara in again with a strong header ahead of Maktar Gay, who stayed down. Another Blackburn player's gone down. Free kick been awarded, and it's all getting very tetchy out there on the pitch. But it is Blackburn Rovers 1, Birmingham City 1 in added time.
Yeah, we've got 2 Rovers players injured on their haunches at the moment, but they do have a free kick, and they're going to put everybody forward for this. They want the win as well.
Well, they will be annoyed, Blackburn, having held the lead for so long in this second half through that cultured finish from Todd Cantwell. They thought they'd done enough, but then Tavares just had a nibble at Ethan Laird as he cut in from the dead ball line, and it may be 2 successive 1-1 draws for Chris Davies' side back in the Championship. But here's the free kick for Blackburn, sent in by Yuri Ribeiro. Good delivery to the far post, drops to the feet of Maktar Gay. Sent back across the face of goal, Clara heads it away. Blackburn still trying to keep it inside the Birmingham City penalty area. Will it drop again as it did for Cantwell before? No, it's hooked away by Doyle this time for the visitors. But one back by Ribeiro, who's drifted down the right-hand side for Blackburn. Good ball to find Henriksen. Sliding challenge from Cashin. Very strong indeed. Got it half clear, but Blackburn have it back. Down the right-hand side of the area it goes. Miller jinking towards the dead ball line. Pulls it back near post, just away from Deneva. And hooked away for Birmingham by Pek Sung Ho. 3.5 minutes of added time have gone. We've got a minimum of 11 minutes to play here before we take you to the Super League action between Hull FC and Lee Leopards on Talksport 2. Long throw going to come in for Blackburn. They can win this. They feel they can still get their noses back in front here, the home side. Miller to take this long throw from the Riverside stand. In it goes to the near post, headed out by Cashin, and there was a push on him as he tried to head it clear. Birmingham get a free kick, and they're not hanging about. They've taken it quickly and trying to get it downfield for Damari Gray. But the referee said it wasn't taken from the right place, so it's got to go all the way back to where Christoph Clara originally took it from just outside his own 18-yard box. 1-1.
Stansfield booms it out of his hands, actually. It's a pretty impressive kick back to his keeper. But yeah, look, Birmingham go again, and yeah, look, anyone can win this game now. It's been a much better second half.
We're not even halfway through added time here on Talksport 2. Ian Danter and Adrian Clark with you at Ewood Park. 1-1. Laird goes down. No challenge from Henriksen. Takes the throw quickly, trying to get Deneva into the area. Deneva scored the consolation here against Bradford, and there's belief around Ewood Park that Blackburn can do it. They've got another long throw to hurl into the Birmingham box here from the right-hand side. 1-1.
Yeah, this is a weapon for them. They go short, though, creating a 2v1.
Tronstadt and Miller creating that 2v1. Tronstadt tries to send the cross in, but it's blocked out of play by Damari Gray. Brighton 1, Fulham 1 in the Premier League. Rodrigo Muniz equalises for Fulham deep in added time. Tranmere 1, Gillingham 1 in added time. Gillingham equalise through Joseph Gabode. Ball goes into the air, and somehow it's kept out by Allsop from the long throw. Did that hit the post?
That's a brilliant save. It's an absolutely fabulous stop. Low to his left-hand side. He gets a high five from Clara. It's that long throw, and Maktar Gay gets a clean header on it. It's bulleted low and hard into that bottom corner, and right by the post he pushes it away. That's a point-saving reaction stop there.
Potentially, but it's still 1-1, and there's still plenty of time to go. We've had 6 minutes of added time played, still at least 5 to play out. Grimsby 2, Newport 1. Kieran Green for the Mariners. 1-1 here. Ball is headed back by Cash into his keeper, but the whistle had gone for a Blackburn free kick just over halfway, so they'll send the blue and white halves forward for this free kick. Barrow 1, Notts County 1. Matt Dennis equalises for Notts County late on. Tott has come forward, the Blackburn keeper, to take this free kick from out on the right-hand side, just inside the Birmingham half of the field. Swirls it deep to the far post. Cashin can only chest it behind for another corner to Blackburn Rovers. 1-1.
Oh, that was uncomfortable, wasn't it, from Erin Cashin? watched it go over his head, and I think he wanted to let the ball go, and it accidentally drops onto his chest, and they get a corner out of nowhere. Blackburn Rovers, and look, we've got a love train, but how many players are in that train on the penalty spot?
6, and there's 4 Birmingham defenders lined up in front of them on the penalty spot. It is going to be Tavares to take the corner kick. Ribeiro was going to take it, but the midfielder is going to take charge. Right-footed, in-swinger, straight at Damari Gray at the near post, and a chance for Birmingham City to counter as the red shirts come forward. It's clipped down the right-hand side for Damari Gray. Gray attacking the penalty area, gets to the right-hand corner, now faced up by Tavares. Tries to go on the outside of Tavares, still got it, Gray. Across the face of goal, it's touched in by Lyndon Dykes for the winner for Birmingham City in front of the travelling support. Limbs in the away end. There was a quick counter-attack led by Damari Gray, and his pullback across the face of goal found Lyndon Dykes, who toe-poked it in to the corner of the net, and somehow Birmingham City appear to have snatched it late in added time. Blackburn Rovers 1, Birmingham City 2, Lyndon Dykes.
Sensational. What a counter-attack this is from Birmingham City. It's a corner to Blackburn Rovers. The delivery is shocking from Tavares. It's absolute garbage. And then they break. It's Iwata that plays a fabulous switch pass to Damari Gray, and Gray scampers down the right, but he doesn't rush. He waits for support. He slows down, then drops a shoulder, beats his man, whips it across the face of goal, and the long legs of Lyndon Dykes, I think it's the left leg, just toe pokes it gently into that far corner. It is classic. It's a textbook counter from Birmingham City.
And now Dykes is penalised for pushing Matt Targay from the restart. It's only his second league goal for Birmingham City. Got 4 in the cup competitions last season, Lyndon Dykes. But it is now Blackburn Rovers 1, Birmingham City 2. 99 minutes have gone. Still a couple to play here on Talksport 2. Middlesbrough 3-0 up at Millwall. Bergsorg with a third goal. Blackburn with a free kick, trying to get themselves back on terms. Ribeiro into the area, nodded down, hooked away on the half volley by Ethan Laird. Comes back to the right-hand side, chance to measure a crossing for Blackburn. Cashin heads it up in the air, drops to the far post. Allsop will go up and claim it just ahead of the defender. And that brings into context the importance of that save that Ryan Allsop made from Matt Targay not 2 minutes before Dykes poked Birmingham in front, Adrian.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah, could easily have lost it there, and instead they keep it level and go up the other end and score. And the sight of those 7,000 fans away to our right singing together as one is pretty powerful. And you have to say that what we've seen from Birmingham here today is not a great performance, but we've seen a performance full of belief. They don't know when they're beaten, and this is what good teams do. They just sort of hang in there and take their chances when it matters most, and that's exactly what they've done here. And the Blackburn fans are flooding out. There's barely anyone left in the stand opposite us. The belief has really been sucked out of the hosts here.
And to think that when Birmingham City got that second goal, it was after a sustained spell of Blackburn pressure, long throws, corner kicks, but it was the corner kick that was their undoing, as Adrian rightly pointed out. A poor delivery allowed Birmingham to break, and boy oh boy, there were red shirts forward in that attack, and one of them, Lyndon Dykes, got the vital touch. We've played the 11 minutes of minimum added time, but there's going to be a bit more to add on because there have been 1 or 2 stoppages during the course of added time. Barrow 2, Notts County 1. Barrow look to have won it late in stoppage time themselves, with Lewis Shipley down in League 2.
Yeah, Chris Davis being serenaded here by the Blue Noses. I mean, what a feeling for him. He stayed calm, didn't he? Made the right changes at the right time. Lyndon Dykes bringing him on. It was that little gamble, wasn't it? Roll of the dice for the centre half, and well, he's come up with a massive moment.
Todd with a goal kick downfield for Blackburn. We play on. The 11 minutes have gone. It's now down to Oliver Langford. How much more is added on at Ewood Park? Ribeiro heads it clear. It's Iwata heading it back from whence it came. He's going to have to put another header in here. Iwata heads it up in the air this time. Might drop out of play. It will for a throw-in for Blackburn Rovers. A chance to get it in the box. And Lewis Miller's come sprinting across to take it. He's the long throw guy for Blackburn Rovers, Lewis Miller. And he's going to hurl this into the danger area for one last opportunity maybe for Blackburn to snatch a point when they thought they had all three. In it comes, headed away by Clara. The full-time whistle goes, and Birmingham City's travelling support celebrates with a late winner at Ewood Park, and the Birmingham players all go to one another inside the 6-yard box, and a big group hug for the effort they made to come from behind, because Todd Cantwell, after a pretty dreadful first half, had volleyed Blackburn into the lead with a smashing finish from inside the box, and that looked like how it was going to end up. But then a penalty awarded late on to Birmingham City for a foul on Ethan Laird, dispatched by Jay Stansfield for 3-3 for Birmingham City's record signing. But that wasn't it, as Blackburn pushed to get themselves back in front. The corner was poor, Birmingham counter-attacked, Gray across the face of goal, and Lyndon Dykes tucked it away to net a first win back in the Championship for Chris Davis's side. It finishes at Ewood Park. Blackburn Rovers 1, Birmingham City 2.
Wow, I mean, it's not how you start, it's how you finish, isn't it? A dreadful first half, but I tell you what, it really came alive. Blackburn are going to be kicking themselves, but brilliant from Birmingham, Clarkie.
Yeah, they just kept going, they kept plugging away. This wasn't an amazing performance from them, but yeah, they were positive. And I noticed once they got that penalty, which came from great piece of brilliance, individual magic really from Ethan Laird, to wriggle his way into the box. I noticed after Stansfield tucked it away, they ran to the halfway line. They wanted to get on with it and go and get the winning goal, and eventually, despite coming under a lot of pressure themselves, they did get that winner. Were Blackburn Rovers a bit naive? Did they go too gung-ho looking for a winner of their own? Maybe they will think that on reflection, because they were caught short-handed, weren't they, in the back, and boy did Birmingham punish them.
Yeah, they really were caught on a counter-attack. Lyndon Dykes in the 98th minute, but Dan spoke about Jay Stansfield and the importance of him this season, and he certainly showed it. 3 goals in 3 appearances, two in the league. We know he can score goals, but a pressure penalty like that, when you know all the attention is on you, getting back into it, 30 seconds of normal time to go is impressive.
Very. Yeah, he's a good player. They bought him for big money, raised a lot of eyebrows last season in League One, but he delivered for them, and he's delivering in the Championship as well. I think he's a really good young talent. He was calm from the spot, but it wasn't just his penalty. I felt that they lost their way a bit in the second half, Birmingham, but Jay Stansfield was the one that was chasing everything. He was sort of full of energy and intensity. He was someone that was showing real urgency, and I think that rubbed off on the players around him. I really do.
Yeah, it certainly does. And the Dance and Clark duo certainly delivered today as well. Been a pleasure to listen to you both on commentary. Thank you very much. Safe journey. I hope the M6 is kinder to you on the way home, Adrian. So Birmingham come from behind in dramatic fashion. 2 late goals snatching the points out of Blackburn's hands at Ewood Park. It's been a busy day.